with Fanny, playing dirty tricks in the courtroom. She always picks, bending the rules. She'd know it, but I won't let her get under my skin. Down in Georgia, where the blues run deep, crooked justice, a secret they keep. But I see through her lies, I see the truth. Gonna make her pay for what she do. Fanny's got a reputation to uphold, but her tactics are shady. Story untold, she thinks she's clever, but I'm on to her game. I'll expose her ways and put her to shame.
Heyo, and welcome. And yeah, I was supposed to be home early today. Of course, I wasn't. Of course, when it's most needed, I had a minor crisis at work, and well, I got home a couple of hours ago. I had to take a quick nap, and while I did, Quintarius Zachary took the stand. So, of course, I'm going live because looking at the Twitters, yeah, things went down. And but first, what do you? The premiere of my new favorite T-shirt. I went to Atlanta and loved it. Didn't catch me. I should have this up. All right. There's no mucking about. And yeah, let's go. QZ is on the stand. So I will just, and yeah, one thing. Apparently, memory or abilities. QZ is on two opioids, two of them. And this doc says, oh, it's fine. Yeah, and it's not much the judge can do about it, or the defense, or his lawyer. I still call BS. You cannot be on two opioids and not be affected by it. I mean, I've handled cases where people were sent home for a quarter of the amount he is. Yeah, I have people who have to have a special agreement with health, not health department, but work health workers, so that these people can work and be on these kind of medications. So, well, if the doc says it, it's, yeah. So I don't know why, but there's not much to do about it. All right, let's go.
Or email it. Electronically on
They're bringing offering on a thumb drive. That was what we said.
Right. I just wondered if Mr. Scheib might have it on his email, on his phone, and then he could maybe try to email it to us and we could print it.
No, everything goes tomorrow.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah. And
Wow. Okay.
Everything goes tomorrow.
and QZ has immunity on the stand. He has use immunity, which means the prosecution in this case can't use it against him to prosecute him for whatever he says. And Kat Madison says, I watched the witness who was in Suboxone testify. She could hardly speak or keep her head up. The judge allowed it. Yeah. There's an opioid crisis going on, but according to some doctors, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, sure.
Okay. That's either very retro or very forward of you, one or the other.
I don't tweet, I'm just Facebook. Usually I have everything. You're illegal to do with me.
You've got good assistance. Okay.
I like the subtitles, the automatic subtitles. Usually I have everything it's important here illegal. Yep. Everything important in this trial is probably illegal.
You're illegal to do with me.
You've got good assistance. Okay.
Yeah.
I know it's very, very old.
I don't know why it's so old. Yes, I thought you said cold because it's that.
Yes. In the Zachariah Anderson trial, his girlfriend was on the stand on, well, it was more than methadone, but she was wasted.
That is unfortunate. Right, the court wishes to, we have the printout copy.
Sure, I can look at least that.
And we'll-
I mean,
Skip ahead. We don't need this.
for a motion.
I couldn't hear what you were saying. Mike.
We were just asking it be filed under seal, that's all.
That's fine.
do you want it filed under seal? I mean, what's the basis for filing it under
Let
seal?
me consult. I've actually never had one of these done.
Okay.
Your Honor,
What and
it doesn't matter. I mean, it's normally if,
Normally it
It
occurs
doesn't
prior
matter.
to the person, basically walking into court to testify.
Your Honor, I am not speaking for Ms. Love or Mr. Schott. For myself, on behalf of Mr. Stillwell, I would like a copy of the order granting immunity.
That's fine. And I don't, unless if somebody wants to vocalize a reason it needs to be filed under seal, I don't intend to have it filed under seal,
That's
given the, circumstances of,
I'm not asking it to be filed under.
okay.
that's fine, Your Honor, and I wasn't trying to keep a copy
So,
for defense. I'm actually
yeah.
bringing the electronic copy for everybody to have.
go screw yourself, Miss Love. You can't have everything under seal.
And when you can, I'd like to
There it
discuss
goes.
the rules. Since I'm his lawyer, am I going to be permitted to object if they badger him? If
No,
or just,
no,
is he
you're
gonna-
here so that if he wants to consult with you,
Okay, and I was going to ask that.
but
if
yeah,
he wants to
no,
consult
I
with me.
mean, you're,
Really?
You're-
He can't object? What? He can't object? How can this be a rule anywhere that a person's lawyer can't interfere? That explains why no lawyer for a witness is objecting. How about that?
you're not a party to the case,
Well,
so you don't.
and
get
I just wanted to make
those
sure I was
kind of
clear on that.
objections. Okay,
And then, but he can consult with me anytime if he wants to stop. and talk to me.
yes.
And I just want to make sure he,
Yeah. Thank
All
you,
right.
little miss.
And it says we're asking it be filed under seal, which we've already dealt with, and I'm denying. So I will print out the motion and the proposed order. Okay. That's fine.
Okay, let's skip
I
ahead.
think we can do that from here.
Oh, Mr. Short is standing up.
Contrary to, I do have a request of the court. Contrary to insinuations that have been made today, I have no idea what's about to happen. However, if Mr. Zachary,
Yeah, he is alluding to when Miss Love says that the family of QZ has been in contact with some lawyers. And here, Mr. Short is saying he has no idea what's about to happen.
is not going to answer any questions, which strikes me as a possibility. I think we should determine what Mr. Zachary is going to do in his condition and everything else before the jury comes out.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
His condition, his pleasure. I don't.
No,
think-
I know what you mean by his condition. What do you mean by, I think we should determine what he's going to do in his condition?
Well, I don't know. I don't know what he's going to do. But if he's going to refuse to answer questions, I don't believe that that would be appropriate for that refusal to occur in front of the jury. And I don't know if he's going to do that or not. Let me be clear.
Your Honor,
Yes.
actually what is, and we had this happen with another witness, and what has been, I know that what is the case law is that if the state has the opportunity to sit there and ask questions while a person continues to plead the fifth, it's not a pleading of the fifth and that causes a mistrial. It's if the state is allowed to put testimony in essence in front of the jury in the form of leading questions while a person continues to plead the fifth, and the defense does not have an opportunity to properly question or elicit any answers from that person, that's when the problem arises, not when the words "I plead the fifth" come out of their mouth. So we would ask that Mr. Zachary be allowed to be brought in just like any other witness, not be free questioned, and that the state be allowed to begin its examination.
All right. Mr. Scheib, you've just recently talked to your client, and you have, I presume, discussed with him the immunity agreement that you all have entered into. Is that correct generally? All right. And so in the course of that, you would have talked to him about the fact that once an immunity agreement is in place, the pleading the fifth assertion is not basically applicable anymore. And does he understand that at this point, if he says, I plead the fifth, that he may get taken to jail and held until he decides to testify? Okay. And has he given you any indication that once brought out to testify, he is nonetheless going to still plead the fifth?
He's not going to plead the fifth, but just saying what he's going to say.
Your Honor, I object to Mr. Scheib.
All right.
I object to Mr. Scheib putting on the record representation about what his client is going to say. I would ask that the court allow the state to question the witness and under oath, and it be brought out again.
Go ahead, Mr. Scheib.
That's fine. Just also questioning, or they may do on Boston, he's been taking narcotics, so that's inconsistent. So something else everybody's going to have to deal with.
Okay.
There you go.
Well, I appreciate Mr. Scheib saying that. Having to deal with someone on narcotics that's going to claim to not remember anything is quite honestly ridiculous. If he's going to testify, he needs to testify. If he's not, and just going to say, I don't recall anything, then we're not going to be able to cross-examine him. If he's going to say, oh, I'm too high to answer questions, that's not effective opportunity to confront a witness. And so I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what any of this is, but if we're going to call a witness to stand, he needs to be able to answer questions. If he can't, then I'm not able to cross-examine him.
So, Ms. Love, I know that we all discussed earlier the possibility of you needing to have a doctor come give us some information about what
Your Honor,
impact anything in his system might have.
no, actually, Your Honor, what I had asked the court to do was to get or meet with the doctor and find out his status and his ability to actually be released and come down. This was done without.
Okay,
He
and
was
just to be
released.
clear, that never happened, okay? So that's not confusing on the record, because we found out before you ever even were able to set anything like that up, that he was about to be released and on his way over here, right?
That was what I was attempting to say a bit
Okay.
too slowly. So yes, Judge, I don't think that there's any need to talk to a doctor because he was released
Okay, so
before all of that happened.
if he comes out and he says, I am high as a kite, I'm on whoever knows what, and, beats me, I'm just loopy, that may or may not be true, right? I mean, I don't know what he's actually on. I don't know what his condition actually is. I don't know if he is on something, what impact that might have on his ability to testify. And I am not necessarily going to take his word for whether he is in a mental state to be able to testify. Do you understand what I mean?
I do, Your Honor, and since that was not the reason that I was asking the court to meet with the doctor, if the court will afford me a moment.
Okay, but we have been Mr. Scheib, when did you first bring all of this to our attention? Was it Monday, Tuesday? It was early this week, right? I mean, hadn't we been discussing this all week?
They were saying Monday morning, I was at the hospital, and then they told me what's going on. They told me what he's been taking, on and on, and being in intensive care and all of that.
At least several days ago, you alerted everybody to
Okay.
this.
Judge,
Okay.
and that's why we had someone go to the hospital, and that's why we had someone speak to the doctor, and that is why we brought the representation that we did to the court. And the representation has been presented to the court regarding what Mr. Zachary is, or any impact what medicine he is taking would have on him and his ability to be harmed or to testify, and that was none. And Your Honor, frankly,
That was one person's version, was none.
actually, we have the investigator who was in there with them. So if, we can put that person up, but Your
Okay,
Honor,
at this point, we have I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no,
Your investigator's words means absolutely nothing to me, Miss Love, because they are working for you, and you are lying to the court, which means they can lie to the court too.
Your Honor,
Go ahead.
Your Honor, there has been a series of events that we have put on the record. There's been no indication that Mr. Zachary is going to be unable to come in here and testify. He was released before we were even able to check on his status. Your Honor, he would not, and Grady has been apprised of what he is being released for. We know because we have had investigators down there. So the court may or may not have been privy or may have seen transcripts of other witnesses who lose all memory with the state, and it comes back when the defense starts asking questions. I don't know what kind of antics, as we have been apprised that Mr. Zachary doesn't want to testify, and his father wanted to or did call Mr. Sharp and Mr. Steele. I don't know what he's going to say, but Your Honor, I believe that he should not be allowed to hamstring, to hijack these proceedings by asserting things that are not.
Okay, so I think we have a fairly good indication through his attorney that he is potentially going to come out here and say some version of, I'm so messed up on whatever drugs they've given me that beats me. I mean, you're an elephant. So then how are you going to deal with that?
Your Honor, as Mr. Scheib did not relay that to me, and I don't
Well,
think
he just relayed it to everybody in front of you. So
I'm not
you
de-
heard it too. And it's been a possibility that he has relayed several times as well earlier this week.
Your Honor,
Yes?
the doctor is on the phone. How about that? That's what we have. We have the doctor on the phone. We can get the doctor on the
I
phone.
don't know
He's on the phone.
what his
We-
procedures will be on the
We have
stand.
it.
That's interesting. They have a doctor on the phone.
Great deal of anxiety, and that's one of the scenarios where he could go into a crisis because.
Anxiety, yes.
I think I've spoken to everybody. He's had this for 30 years and been built up, and quite frankly, he's an addict. He takes oxycontin every day and can't take morphine because he's addicted, or he just can't take that, but he's been on drugs for 30 years. And he's been in and out of intensive
Okay.
care.
Thank you.
We have the doctor on the phone, Your Honor. Could he,
Okay, yeah. Is everybody going to accept that this is his Grady doctor on the phone?
I think you need to have, what needs to happen is, under the law, he needs to give consent for her to have a conversation with him.
You have been having conversations with his doctor and the state for the last several days, so I assumed that was with his consent. Am I wrong?
It is, but I don't know.
Okay.
It is, and for this man to give further information, he has to give consent. I'm not.
So it's been a minute by minute consent that you have had with him for the state to.
Judge, it's one thing giving consent to talk to his lawyer. It's another thing giving consent for that to be produced to a legal matter, produced on the record. So yeah, it is a minute by minute consent that he can retract unless he says yes directly to the court.
Communicate with his doctor about his condition, Mr. Scheib? Has
To
it?
be very clear, the other day when they-
Has it?
The other day, the doctor said, right now I can give you information as to what has happened.
I'm asking about the understanding that you have of Mr. Zachary's consent to let the state communicate with his doctor about his condition.
The other day. I don't know, he needs to come out and at least put it on the record, hey, I consent, we need to find out who the doctor is. I don't know who's on there.
That was my point, is I have no idea who's on the phone. That was my point. How about a Zoom call?
That's what we're trying to establish, Your Honor. We have his email address. The doctor's email address is,
We don't need to put his email address on the record.
I'll send you.
You don't need to put his email address on the record. I'm not emailing him.
I'm giving it to you. The person. I don't need his email address. I need his name.
He gave oral consent a few days ago to a doctor that he knew. I don't know
All
who this is. and-
What is the doctor's name to whom he gave consent to speak about his condition?
I think he needs to give consent to it.
You are his lawyer. What is the doctor's name to whom he gave oral consent to speak to the state about his medical condition?
I think they had a doctor on the phone. I think the doctor that I spoke to. That I personally spoke to, his last name is MARTHAMEADI. That's who I spoke to, face to face.
Okay, thank
That's the
you.
person who's on the phone.
Huh? Okay, well, until he is in person on,
Waiting for the-
virtually in person on Zoom,
He's
that
waiting.
everybody can be a part of.
And I would ask
Your
my
Honor, could we
client
not
to
have
find out
this-
that he's privy to this.
Do we not have this
I think he's
telephone?
entitled to it.
I need y'all to not talk at the same time. I cannot pay attention to both of you at the same time. Okay? Hang on, Mr. Schott. What are you asking?
That this doctor's conversation and communication not be televised.
Let me ask Mr. Scheib, because he's representing Mr. Zachary's interests with regard to this. And I do think that it would be appropriate, if requested, to not have this televised, because we're talking about somebody's personal medical information. Okay,
I'm not gonna tell him.
y'all need to not record this. So is the doctor
We're sending-
joining us by Zoom?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. And skipping ahead. Yeah,
Either on a Monday or Tuesday, there was a doctor in the room.
Pick it up. Pick up the mic. I can hear you, but not everybody
Can you
can.
hear me now? You hear me now? Hello?
Yes, now we can.
My wife.
Just hold it up to your mouth.
Okay, the first one,
Hold it
either
closer.
Monday or Tuesday, when the doctor was in the room, my
Yeah.
client verbally said, you can tell my lawyer what's going on. The second scenario was when the DA's office and investigator was in his room and on the phone, and my client gave him oral consent to tell him what was going on to that point.
Okay.
okay.
All right. Well, then I'm not sure that we have his consent to talk to this doctor currently about what's going on.
Then, Your Honor, if he doesn't give his consent, I think he just needs to
All right.
come out
So
and take stand. I mean, I don't know why.
let's admit,
Miss Love. I mean, this is a chaotic situation, but it's on Miss Love. They have 5 or more assistant district attorneys, and none of them prepared for this situation. Not one of them. So this is on the prosecution, in my opinion.
Mr. Zachary out at this point, we'll have him take the stand. He'll be able to see Dr. Bethina. I'm going to go ahead and let Dr. Bethina into the Zoom.
And Your Honor, no one is recording, right? I know the court said not to, but I just wanted to ensure that.
And now we're back. Yeah, as I said earlier, because I heard the information elsewhere, that this doc apparently said, hey, being on opioids is fine. Will have no effect on his memory, will have no effect whatsoever. And yeah, I find that very hard to believe. In my own experience with people who are on opioids, they need special consent to do more or less everything, including driving, including everything. I mean, and there he is, QZ. He looks high.
Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to jump to a different witness right now, and we'll circle back to the other witness later. Mr. Zachary, can you please stand and be sworn?
Quindary Zach, Quindarrius, Zachary, Zachary.
All right, let's see how Ms. Love handles a person high on opioids.
Good afternoon, Mr. Zachary. How are you? Mr. Zachary, hello.
I gotta speak back.
Yes, you're gonna have to answer questions.
You said question, not speak back, but hey, how you doing?
Mr. Zachary, would you please tell the jury how old you are?
31.
And where did you grow up?
Atlanta,
What part of Atlanta, Mr. Zachary?
Cleveland Avenue,
Where'd you go to school
Cleveland Avenue Elementary,
and middle school?
Crawford Lawn.
Did you graduate?
No.
What was the highest grade you completed?
8th, 7 1 on.
Mr. Zachary,
We have a person high on opioids who did not finish 8th grade. Okay. And Cat Madison, I'm so sorry to hear that. I hope you I hope you are as good as you can be. Let me know if sound is okay. I thought it was a little low, so I boosted it a bit. Hi, Casper.
do you know any of the persons in the courtroom today?
Nah,
None of them.
nope.
Mr. Zachary,
All right, off to a good start because we know he knows a bunch of the people.
let me ask you this. Do you know Shannon Stillwell?
Yeah,
Do you not see him in the courtroom today?
I can't see. I just got to the hospital. You know that. I can't see that far.
All right, do you need some glasses, Mr.?
If they got medicine and they don't work for me.
Mr. Zachary, were you present a moment ago when the court heard from your doctor?
Yeah.
And did you hear your doctor say anything?
You ain't asking what I nausea.
Sustained as to bolstering.
Yeah, Miss Love, you are not supposed to tell the jury what a doctor said before they came. Gee, she's not even a minute into asking him questions, and Miss Love is mentally incapable of not breaking rules. Mentally incapable. This is mental.
I'm going to show you what has been marked as State's Exhibit 123 Echo. Do you recognize the person that has been depicted in State's Exhibit 123 Echo?
Yeah,
Who is this person?
Shannon.
And I'm going to play you what has been already admitted as 123 Echo. Mr. Zachary, while we are pulling that up, are you familiar with the person by the name of Jeffrey Williams, who also answers to the name Young Thug?
Yeah,
How long have you known him?
I 15 years.
15 years?
Yeah,
Do you consider him your friend?
yeah, all right.
All right. And the relationship with him that you have had, has it been good, bad, something in the middle?
It's all right.
All right. Now, when you say all right, does that mean you all have had no disagreements during the time that you've known him?
Shit, everybody has disagreement.
I agree. Would you consider him a friend?
Yeah, all right.
All right. What does that mean for you?
Cool.
You're cool?
Yeah,
All right. Do you know a person by the name of Kelvin Watts?
nah,
You've never heard of Kelvin Watts?
nickname.
Shell Kel, do you know a Shell Kel?
Yeah,
All right. How long have you known him?
I don't know him like that.
I didn't say how long.
I
how you
don't know him like that.
How long have you known of Shell Kel?
I like 2015.
All right. Are you cool with Shell Kel?
No,
All right. Now you chuckled. Why did you chuckle?
I ain't
Yes.
cool with him.
Exhibit displayed on the screen, are we going to use that exhibit or just?
I'm
Okay.
going to,
You actually said you were gonna publish it
Yes.
as a, I don't know if it's what it is, a video?
it's
or-
a video that has
Okay.
already
Are you
been.
ready for that?
In a moment, Your Honor. I was just completing the questions that I asked.
Can you take it off until we're ready for it? Sorry.
Why did you chuckle when you said Shell, when I asked you about Shell Kel?
I just chuckle. What's the problem?
No, Mr. Zachary.
Okay, then.
So you said you're not cool with Shell Kel. Is that what you said?
I don't know him to be cool with him.
Okay. What about Kenneth Copeland? Do you know of a person named Kenneth Copeland?
Nickname.
Woody.
Yeah,
How long have you known Woody?
about 10, 12 years, something like that.
And are you cool with Woody?
He all right.
What does he all right mean?
He cool, he all right.
Okay. What about Diamante Kendrick, Yak Gotti? You know him?
Yeah, he all right.
All right. And is that the same, he all right, that you mentioned with Mr. Williams and Mr. Stillwell?
Yeah,
All right. Moontoon or Antonio Sledge, is he all right too?
Moonton.
Yes.
Yeah, he all right.
Okay. How long have you known Moontoon?
About 20-something years.
All right. Demekion Garlington. Do you know who that is?
Yeah,
All right. And how long have you known him?
20 years.
All right. And what is your relationship with him? Is he all right?
He all right.
You cool?
Uh,
Okay. Now, do you have people, friends that you consider more cool or I than others?
Nah. Not
No?
really. Not really.
Okay. So are you equally eyed with Jeffrey Williams, Shannon Stillwell, Diamante Kendrick, Demekion Garlington, and Antonio Sledge?
Yeah.
Do you know Kelvin Treadwell or OG Bentley?
He dead, ain't
I don't know, Mr. Zachary.
he? His name Bentley?
Yes.
Yeah, I think something happened to him. I don't know.
You don't know whether you know him? Do you know a Demise McMullen?
No.
Do you know a Nard?
Picture.
I'm asking you first. Do you know a Nard?
Yeah, I know a couple on.
All right. Now, the couple of them that you know, where do you know them from?
Prison.
All right. So if I show you a photograph,
Yeah, I'm speeding up to 1.25 here.
that I will mark 503 Yankee, can you tell the jury whether this picture that I'm holding in front of you depicts Nard?
I don't know. It
Did you,
blurry.
did you write anything on it?
Look like my name, but I don't know.
Is that your handwriting?
No,
That's not your handwriting?
no.
Okay. Do you remember seeing this picture before?
2015, I can't remember that.
Okay. But you remember knowing Mr. Stillwell in 2015?
You just showed me a clear picture of him.
I understand. You remember knowing him in 2015.
You showed me a clear picture of him.
Can you answer the question?
You showed me a clear picture of him.
So you remember part of 2015?
No, you showed me a clear picture of him.
Mr. Zachary, please answer the question.
I didn't answer the question. You showed me a clear picture of him. That picture just showed me one clear.
All right, Mr. Zachary, listen, she's not asking you now about the picture. She's asking you about something different. So listen to what she's asking and try to answer.
Yeah, I remember 2015.
You do remember 2015?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and play the video that we previously had up on the screen that the court asked us to take down.
That same shit that got Big and Tupac killed, little fuck, nigga. Pussy ass, you gonna get your bitch ass killed.
For life.
Yeah,
Hey, come in
gang.
life.
Hey, gang, you bring your pussy out here, you gonna see me. I'm at your fucking neck.
Fuck
bitch.
anybody.
Mr. Zachary, did you see yourself in that video?
Yes,
And where were you seated in that video?
in the back.
All right, and were you behind Mr. Stillwell?
Yeah.
All right, did you hear what you said?
What I said?
Did you hear what you said?
No.
All right, can we play that again?
That same shit that got Big and Tupac killed, little fuck, nigga. Pussy ass, you gonna get your bitch ass killed.
For life.
Yeah,
Hey, come in
gang.
life.
Hey, gang, you bring your pussy out here, you gonna see me. I'm at your fucking neck.
Fuck
bitch.
anybody.
Did you hear what you said then?
Can't come to Atlanta.
Okay. Did you hear yourself say black?
No.
Did you hear anyone say black?
How you spell it?
Did you hear what I just said?
How you spell it?
Mr.
No, I
Zachary,
didn't hear nobody say black.
what did you hear being said that sounded like black, if anything?
Well, when y'all played the video on my trial, y'all say we said black, BLACK. So that's what I'm gonna go with. That what
We're
y'all
not
said we
talking
said.
about anything but here today. Do you understand that, Mr. Zachary?
We said black,
What is that? How do you spell it?
BLACK.
Okay, so now are you saying that what is being said is BLACK?
That's what y'all told me it said.
Okay, Mr. Zachary, I don't want to know what anyone told you. I want to know what your understanding of what is.
That's my
being said.
understanding, yes.
That is BLACK.
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever heard BLATT?
No.
Okay. Have you ever heard SLATT?
I heard of, yeah.
Okay. Ever used it?
No,
Ever been around anybody that used it?
probably. I don't remember.
Do you remember how they used it? Have you heard them? No? Okay. I'm going to now show you, actually, could you tell the jury all the people that were displayed in that video you just saw? Do you need to see it again?
I just saw me and Shannon.
Okay, did you see it? You didn't see a third person in there?
I
Could you
saw a
play-
third person, but I don't know who that is.
Do you remember when that video was taken?
2015
Do you remember where you were when it was taken?
in the car.
Where? What city?
Atlanta.
All right. And do you know what it is that you all were talking about?
Say something about game or something.
What about game?
I just heard say game. Can't come to Atlanta, something like that.
And so did you hear yourself or anyone say YSL for life?
I heard it, but I don't know who said it.
Okay. Did you ask anyone on the video what that means, what you're talking about?
What do you mean?
I'm asking you, if at any time in
No.
that car, you said, what do you mean YSL for life?
No.
Okay.
I probably was high. I probably ain't paying attention at the time.
Did you hear yourself talking?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you sound high to yourself?
What?
Did you sound high?
I'm saying the video I probably was. We made a video.
All right, Mr. Zachary. I'm going to show you what has been marked as an admitted, and this is a screenshot, Your Honor, as State's Exhibit 441 Yankee. Do you recognize the people who are displayed in 441 Yankee, the screenshot?
Yes.
Who is that displayed in 441 Yankee?
Me and Moot.
Court's currently on break. So,
We ain't really going back to no nigga. You little bitch ass nigga. I know what we hate. I'm everywhere. Yeah, fuck you, nigga. Cal. Whoever else, nigga. Well, nigga. Whoa. They say they ain't really going back.
that's an easy way to be demonetized.
Did you hear what was being said in the video?
Yes.
Now, who is the Kel that is being referred to? Go ahead.
They say, oh,
I'll just fill up my coffee here.
I don't remember.
Do you remember the Kel you told the jury you were not cool with a few minutes ago?
Yeah,
Is that the same Kel or a different?
probably was.
Probably was.
Probably was him. I don't remember.
Do you remember making that video?
Yes.
When did you make it?
I like 2014, 2014, 2015, something like that.
Would it have been the latter part of 2014?
Yes.
All right. And when you were holding the guns up to the camera, what were you meaning to show?
Shoot, gun. I showed a gun.
Why were you showing?
I don't know. Shoot, probably was high.
Okay. Why were you saying the things you were saying to Kel?
I said something to him.
Why was whatever you all were doing on that video being done?
I don't think I said nothing to him personally.
Why were you all shooting that video
I don't know. I was just in the video.
with guns?
Yeah.
To the camera? How often do you do that?
A lot.
And do you do it at everybody or just Kel?
Did I say something to him in that video?
Do you point guns at a video, in a video to everyone or just Kel?
Probably everyone. Most of my pictures gonna be with gun.
Okay. When you say most of your pictures are with guns, are most of your pictures also with members of YSL?
No.
Okay. I'm going to show you what has been admitted as State's Exhibit 477 Yankee. I'm gonna, no. I'm gonna show you what has been marked, my apologies, as 477 Yankee. Would you take a look at 477 Yankee?
Yes, I see it.
All right. Can you see, without telling the jury out loud, the name at the top?
YSLD. Oh,
Okay. And can you see the caption at the bottom? Don't read it out loud at all.
yes,
Okay. Do you recognize this post?
yes.
All right. And how do you recognize this post? Where was it made?
I look like a club.
And where was this post placed on social media?
Look like Instagram.
Was it your Instagram account?
Yeah,
Is it a fair and accurate copy of the post on your Instagram account?
yes.
State tenders 477 Yankee.
It's admitted.
We're gonna permission to publish.
may.
Thank you. And if Ms. Knight, you would blow up the bottom portion. Mr. Zachary, would you tell us what time and date is shown on that photograph, 477 Yankee?
I can see it.
If I put it before you here, can you see it right there?
7:02 p.m. February 26, 2015.
All right. And can you see if I hold it here, what caption is under that post?
Yes, I'm saying out loud.
Now you can say that.
Remember all you niggas sleeping on us.
What else does it say?
YSL Thug on one.
All right. And if you would, Ms. Knight, bring the photograph down. Would you please tell the jury who is shown in this photograph from left to right as Ms. Knight puts the icon over each face? Who is that?
Mr. Williams,
All right. And what else do you call him?
Thug,
And who is that in the middle?
Monton,
All right. And who is that on the end?
me.
All right. Now, is there an emoji after Thugger one?
I can't see. Yeah,
I'm
show me.
gonna bring it up again. Can you see it on here? Ms. Knight, can you blow up the
Like
emoji?
like a bird.
It looks like a bird.
Oh.
Blow it up, Ms. Knight, all the way. That's as far as it goes. Does it look like a snake at all?
No, I look like a little green rubbery doggy.
Do you typically use green rubbery duckies?
I
in
use
your
green
posts?
anything.
What's special about green to you?
I drink green lean.
Okay. Do you use other green emojis?
Hearts.
All right. And do you use red emoji?
Shoot, everybody use the red heart.
Do you, why didn't you answer the same?
Is it now considered gang affiliation to have a red heart emoji? Oh, for frick's sake. Yeah. Hey, Tia. I agree. Oh, oh, yeah.
And where like everybody uses green hearts.
You say, why I use them? You ain't everybody nobody else.
All right. So do you use red hearts?
Yes.
Do you use any other emojis like that in your posts?
The terrible
Do every emoji on the
crime
emoji app.
of a red heart emoji.
Now,
Jesus.
the name YSL, how long have you had that as your Instagram handle? YSL Lil D.
I like 2015, 2014.
Okay. And do you know how long Mookton has had a handle YSL Toon?
I don't know.
When you first started using YSL Lil D, what did you mean for it to represent?
Shoot. What you mean? Like, what I meant for what it meant?
What did it mean when you started using the name YSL Lil D?
I was hanging around. That's around the time I changed my name. I was going to show Mr. Williams stuff. That's when I changed my name to YSL for like the record label.
For the record label? What shows were you going to Mr. Williams?
A lot of them.
A lot of them. Had you, before going to shows with Mr. Williams, had you gone to those type of shows before with anyone else?
Not with nobody performing, no.
Okay, so are those shows that you remember because you hadn't done it before?
Yes.
All right, so what was the first show you went to with Mr. Williams?
I don't remember.
All right, do you remember when it was? No? All right, so do you know a person by the name of Bug Bug or that calls himself YSL Bug?
Nah.
Okay. I'm gonna ask you, have you ever made a post, I just bought some new guns and got rid of some friends, you don't wanna live my life? Under the name YSL Lil D.
I don't know. That's a fool. I don't know. I don't remember.
You said that's a what one?
A fool one?
What does that mean?
I don't remember.
What is a, did you say fool?
Yeah. Caption. Like, I probably would have said something like that.
Okay. What would it have meant if you had said something like that?
Exactly what he said.
Explain further.
Exactly what he said.
All right, and when you say exactly what it said, what does getting some new guns and getting rid of some friends have to do with one another?
Shoot, I don't know. I probably heard it in the song.
What song?
I said I probably heard it in the song.
Okay. Now, do you remember when you got your first gun?
I like 14.
I'm gonna show you what's been marked as 504 Yankee, State's Exhibit 504 Yankee. Is that the post that you made? You gotta say yes or no out loud.
Yeah.
All right. Do you remember when you made it?
I don't even remember the picture.
But you remember the post?
It's on my page.
Okay. Is it a fair and accurate copy of the post on your page?
Yeah.
All right. State tenders 504 Yankee.
Admitted.
Thank you.
Remember to
Mr.
hit
Jackie,
the
have you
thumbs
ever
up,
heard of
folks.
Of a group called 30D.
Yeah.
All right. Now, what is 30D?
A group from Canterville.
What kind of group?
I don't know.
Do you know who I was a part of that group?
No.
Was the Mickey and Darlington a part of that group?
She probably was.
I'm gonna show you what has been marked.
Yeah. Yes. QZ is extremely important to the state's case, as was Tick, as was Woody, as was Miss Bennett, and I mean, so far, he, amongst many of the witnesses, he is more coherent than many have been. But he is on strong opioids that, according to a doctor, his doctor, has no effect on his memory or anything. So, folks, congratulations. The opioid crisis in USA is over because one doctor in this trial said opioids are fine. Fine. As
It's 476 Yankee. Do you recognize the photograph shown in 476 Yankee?
Yeah,
Do you recognize whose page is posted on?
yeah,
Whose page is it posted on?
mine,
Is it a fair and accurate copy of the posting on your page?
yeah.
State tenders 476 Yankee.
Admitted.
On 476 Yankee, could you read at the bottom the time and date that it was made?
10:04 p.m. May the 6th, 2015.
All right.
Got locked up that day.
What now?
No,
You said you got locked up that day?
yeah,
What'd you get locked up for?
a gun.
Where was that done?
What you mean? What was it?
Where was the?
It was
gun?
on me
Where on you?
in the car.
Who were you in the car with?
I don't remember.
Were you in the car with your girlfriend?
Yeah, I think so.
And were her initials SG?
Yeah,
All right. How long had you dated SG at that time?
I don't remember.
What kind of gun did you have?
I don't even remember. I just know I had the gun.
Do you know how many guns you bought over the years?
I don't know.
Where were you when you got locked up?
On Cleveland.
Do you remember where on Cleveland?
At the BP.
All right. Is it the BP at 151 Cleveland Avenue?
I don't know the address.
Do you remember at some point asking or meeting Detective Gaither after you got arrested at that BP?
No.
Do you remember ever talking to or meeting a Detective Dennis?
Yes.
Do you know who Detective Gaither is?
Yes.
How do you know who Detective Gaither is? Have you met her before?
The Mickey and Garlington auntie was fucking her. I mean, excuse me, Judge. But they had a relationship.
So were you ever present during any of what you just described? And Your Honor, actually, I answered that, you struck from the record.
You say how I know?
Have you ever witnessed any of that?
Yeah, he told
You were
me.
in the room?
He told me.
Okay, Your Honor, I'd ask that this hearsay be stricken from the record.
It's stricken.
Thank you. Do you
say what now? I need to play this in normal speed. Oh, this is the Gaither situation.
talking to or meeting a Detective Dennis?
Yes.
Do you know who Detective Gaither is?
Yes.
How do you know who Detective Gaither is? Have you met her before?
The Mickey and Garlington auntie was fucking her. I mean, excuse me, Judge. But they had a relationship.
Yeah, there it is. Detective Gaither and Auntie Garlington was screwing, had a relationship at the time of where everything here 2014, 2015 going on. Yeah. No wonder she doesn't have any reports. Or that they are missing. Or that she had to eventually quit her job before she could apply for full pension.
So Were you ever present during any of what you just described? And Your Honor, actually, I asked that that be struck from the record.
You say how I know?
Have you ever witnessed any of that?
Yeah, he told
You were
me.
in the room?
He told me.
Were you in the room when Detective Gaither and Auntie Garlington was doing the boinky boinky boink? What a stupid question. Now, Miss Love, you knew this. And you still asked the question. I'm really surprised that it was allowed to be stricken. Really surprised because she asked, "How do you know?" And he answered. So if it's stricken, then you leave the subject. Why do you keep going?
Okay, Your Honor, I'd ask that this hearsay be stricken from the record.
It's stricken.
Thank you.
And now she emphasizes
Do you-
to the jury, I don't want you to listen to this. And now this will be infused in their memory. Oh, one of the lead detectives, one of the gang experts were sleeping, had a relationship with a co-defendant's auntie? What? Yeah.
Have some kind of, are you saying you haven't had any interaction with Detective Gates?
You say, how did I first hear about her?
You said you didn't know her.
You say, how did I first hear about her?
Did you know her?
Not before then, no.
Okay, have you ever sat in an interview room with her?
Yes,
All right, and have you sat in an interview room with Detective Dennis?
yes,
Have you sat in an interview room with Detective Dennis and Detective?
yes.
Do you know how many times you sat in the room with Detective Dennis and Detective Gates?
Not that many.
Was it after you got arrested with that gun on Cleveland Avenue?
No, it was not.
Was it before?
No, it was way after.
Oh, okay, so it was way after, okay. Was it in 2015?
Yes,
Was it in August of 2015?
yes,
Did you ask to speak with Detective Gates and or Detective Dennis?
no. What the hell? Call 911, send you speak to the police?
Were you incarcerated in August of 2015?
Yes.
Were you in jail when you asked or when you spoke with them?
I ain't asked to speak with nobody.
Were you in jail when you spoke with them?
Yes,
Did you speak with them in an interview room?
yes.
Was it, to your knowledge, in a room where you were being recorded?
Probably so, yes.
Okay. And did you talk with them?
Yes.
I'm gonna show you what has been marked as Stacy Exhibit 471 Yankee, but not admitted. Do you recognize what has been shown and marked as 471 Yankee?
Yes.
How do you recognize it?
It's on my page.
All right, is it a fair and accurate copy of what's on your page?
Yes.
State tenders 471 Yankee, is that,
Admitted.
may I publish?
You may.
All right. Who is shown in 471 Yankee?
Me and Mickey on
All right. And what's that in the Mikion's hand, in his right hand?
a gun,
What's that in your right hand?
a gun.
All right. And what do you have at the bottom? Can you read the caption? Bring it up.
They can forward us if they want. We bring the homicide,
Who'd you tag?
30 D.
All right. It's 30 D the Mikion Garland.
Yes.
All right. Who is the they you were talking about?
That's a song, that Lil Wayne.
Okay. So when you did that and pointed the gun at the camera, what was the reason you did that?
That's a song. I just told you on the last night, it probably was a song.
Okay. What was the name of that song?
For what they want, we bring the homicide. Word to my mama told her to get it, not the game is like coming out of a
What's the
coma.
name of the song?
That's right. I don't know the name, that Lil Wayne song though.
Okay. And so when you pointed that at the camera, you didn't mean for it to display it, and then you just wanted to put the song up there.
Most of my pictures gonna be with songs.
Okay. In 2015, January 2015, specifically January 10th, 2015, do you recall where you were?
In the house,
Now, when you say in the house, what house?
my mama house.
All right. How do you remember that?
Cuz, what you mean? I know I was in the house. I was sick.
Okay. So did you stay in the house all day?
Yes.
Do you remember anything else happening on January 10th, 2015?
No.
Do you know who Donovan Thomas is?
Yes,
Do you know when he was killed?
2015 sometime.
Do you remember it being January 10th, 2015?
It probably was.
Do you remember when you heard about Donovan Thomas being killed?
Probably the same day.
Do you remember how you heard about it?
I think somebody called me.
Do you remember where you were when they called?
I was at home. I just told you that.
Do you remember who it was that called?
Probably Moonson.
I'm showing you what has been admitted as State's Exhibit 482 Yankee. You recognize the post in 482 Yankee for the picture.
Yes.
And who is depicted in that picture?
Me, Shannon, and Yet.
And what date was that post made?
March 8th, 2015.
And whose page was it made on?
OG, almost go boo.
Who is that?
I don't know.
Now, is this a fair and accurate depiction of the way you, Shannon, and Yak looked in this photograph at the time it was taken?
I guess. Oh, what you mean?
Is this a fair and accurate copy of them?
Yeah.
All right. State tenders 482 Yankee.
It's admitted without objection.
Do you remember what time it was when you learned Donovan Thomas had been killed?
Right around the time he got killed.
And what time do you remember that being?
I don't remember.
And you still don't remember who it was that called you?
I told you probably Moonson.
You said probably, not it wasn't.
Probably him, probably.
Brandon's in the house.
What happened after you got the call?
I went back to sleep.
For how long?
Rest of the night.
Did you go anywhere after that?
No.
What'd you do the next day?
I don't remember the next day. I think we went somewhere, went out of town or something.
And who is we?
Me, I don't remember where I went. I know, I think with Mr. Thug, we went, had a show.
Who else?
Shoot, it was a couple of us.
Okay. Did Shannon go?
Yeah, I think he went.
Did Yak go?
9 times 10, he went, yeah.
Did Woody go?
I don't remember who Woody went. Probably so. I think he came probably a few days later or something.
Did Moonton go?
No.
What show was it?
I don't know, some show in Florida.
Now, at the time, were you performing in that show?
No.
Did you have any, were you employed by anyone who performed in the show?
No, but I used to help out,
Help out who?
like with the clothes and stuff.
Help out who?
The record label, Thug, Mr. Williams,
Okay. And how did you help out with the clothes and stuff?
selling the clothes.
And what kind of clothes would you sell?
Stone t-shirt, stuff like that.
Did you ever sell free Roscoe gear?
You know, I was locked up, Roscoe got locked up. I'm a city t-shirt.
Okay. But do you know about free Roscoe gear?
No.
Other than stoner gear, have you ever sold any other kind of gear?
I think some, I don't remember, I just know whatever t-shirt they had.
Do you ever sell anything with slime on it?
No,
Have you ever used slime in the context of this record label?
no.
Have you ever used slime in any other context?
Have I used it?
Yes, you.
Probably so.
And how are you using it?
I don't remember.
Have you ever heard Shannon use it?
No.
Have you ever heard Thug use it?
I think in the song, yeah.
Have you ever heard Yak use it?
Probably in the song.
Have you ever heard Nard use it?
Who is Nud?
Demise and mother.
You gotta show me a picture. I told you that.
Do you know a person by the name of Justin Cobb who also answers to the name Doo-Wop?
You gotta show me a picture.
Is that a no or yes?
You gotta show me a picture. I told you that.
Okay, so right now you don't know until. you
Right
see
now, I
the
don't know until I see a
picture.
picture.
Okay. After
He keeps asking her, show me a picture. I might know him, but I don't know why she doesn't. But yeah. So far, I mean, this is, I can't say if it's good for the prosecution, good for the defense. Well, except him revealing that Detective Gaither slept with or was in a relationship with a family member of a gangbanger, allegedly, an alleged gangbanger.
You got arrested with that gun on Cleveland Avenue. And let me ask you this. Do you remember buying the gun at a pawn shop?
Yes,
Do you remember which pawn shop?
yes,
Which one?
Arrowhead,
All right. How many guns did you buy at Arrowhead Pawn Shop?
about 3.
All right. Were they all the same kind?
No,
All right. What were they? What kinds were they?
I don't know.
Were they long guns or handguns?
I think both.
All right. How many long guns did you buy?
2.
All right. Now, the gun in the video with you and Moulton talking about Kale. Did you see that?
Yes,
All right. Was that one of the guns you bought?
no,
Now, was the gun in that video similar to one of the guns you bought?
no,
All right. Did you give one of your guns or sell one of your guns to Kenny Copeland?
let him borrow a gun, yes.
Okay. When did you let him borrow your gun?
I think I was out of town and he just kept, keeping it.
Do you remember around the time it was?
2015?
Do you remember around what month?
No,
When you spoke with Detectives Gaither and Dennis, was it always at the same place?
what you mean I was at the same place?
Was it always at the same place, at the Atlanta Police
I
Headquarters?
only spoke with him probably 1 or 2 times. I ain't no always at no same place.
For
No,
those 1 or 2 times, was it at the same place?
I think so.
Did you ever speak with them, either Detective Gaither or Detective Dennis, individually outside of that place?
No,
And did you ever individually reach out to either one of them outside of that place?
no,
When you said that you traveled with Shannon Thug, possibly Yak,
I think Mr. Williams already there. And he's in Florida, he was already there.
who's already there?
Yeah,
Well, when did you go in relation to January 10th?
I don't know, it was the next morning. Yeah,
And when did Mr. Williams go?
I don't know, I just know he was already there.
So was he there on January 10th?
I just told you he was already there when I got there.
I'm asking.
We
you,
got
was he
there late on that
January
night, the
10th?
next night.
Was he there on January?
I don't
10th?
know.
When you say we, so did you, Shannon, and Yak travel together?
Yes,
How did y'all get there?
I think a Sprinter or something like that.
Who purchased the Sprinter?
I don't damn know. I mean, I don't know.
Did you purchase it?
No,
Was that the first time you was ridden in a Sprinter with Shannon or Yak?
no,
How often have you ridden in a Sprinter with Shannon and Yak?
I don't know.
When you rode in the other Sprinters with Shannon and Yak, where were you going?
I don't remember. Probably sure.
And so who paid for those Sprinters? Do
I
you
don't know. I don't know.
Did you know where Mr. Williams lived during January of 2015?
Yeah,
How many residents did he have?
one that I knew of,
Where was it?
downtown.
What was it called?
I think Sky House.
What kind of place was it? An apartment, a condo, a standalone house, or something else?
Condo.
Do you remember what floor he lived on?
No, yeah, I think
Which one?
like 11 or something like that.
Okay. Do you know who else, if anyone lived with him?
Lived with him?
Yes. Lived with Mr. Williams?
I don't know.
All right. How often did you visit Sky House?
A lot.
When did you first start visiting Sky House?
Probably when you first got it. I don't
Which
know.
was when?
I don't know.
Was it in 2014?
Yes,
Was it early part of 2014 or the latter?
I don't know.
When you say you went a lot, would that mean more or less than 5 times a week?
Probably more.
Would it mean more or less than 10 times a week?
No, I don't know 10 times a week.
So between 5 and 10 times a week you visit?
Yeah,
Now, when you went, how did you get there? Did you drive? Did you walk? How'd you get there?
I drove.
What kind of car did you drive?
I don't know.
Did you have your own car on January 10th?
I always had my own car.
What kind of car did you have during that time?
I don't remember.
How many cars have you had?
I don't remember.
Did you ever drive any of Thug's cars?
I think a van, Sprinter van or something before.
A Sprinter van?
Yeah.
Did you drive it down to a show or something?
I drove it somewhere. I don't.
Okay. Is that the only type of car of his that you've driven?
Yes.
Do you know about any cars that Thug has rented?
You gotta be more specific.
I mean, any cars that Thug has rented.
I don't know he rent no car.
Do you know any cars that maybe his manager has rented?
I don't know who rent the car. He probably had, I own some with rentals, but I ain't know just no rental.
So what rentals have you seen with Thug?
I think a vet.
A vet?
Yeah.
What kind of vet?
A car vet.
What color, do you remember?
Gray, I think.
Do you remember what year it was that you saw that Corvette?
I think 2014,
The latter,
2015, one on.
so late 2014 or early 2015?
Yes.
Did you see any other cars that Thug rented or Thugs that were rentals after the vet?
I don't know if he rented them.
That's not what I asked. Did you see any other rentals of Thugs, regardless of who rented them for you?
I don't know if it was his. I just
Okay.
know somebody told me.
Did you ever ride in a car that you took been rented by Thugs man?
I rode in a car with Woody,
When?
January the 9th, I think.
Okay,
I never saw Mr. Williams in the car. I don't know if it was rental or not.
so if you said you don't know what now,
If it was his rental or not. If that's what you're trying to put it as.
just asking questions.
Mm.
What time of day or night did you ride in a car with Woody?
I don't remember the time. It was
How-
nighttime.
It was nighttime? How did you know it was, why did you bring that up in terms of when I asked you how Thugs run?
Because I know you're trying to get it.
Why do you know what I'm trying to get at?
How many people you don't sit up and ask these same questions?
Have you been sitting here watching people testify?
No.
Then why are you asking that question?
Mm.
What kind of car was it that you rode in with Woody on January the 9th at night?
It was a car, photo car.
What now?
It was a car.
Was it a vet,
No, it was a photo car.
a four-door car?
Yeah.
Was it a silver four-door car?
I think like dark gray or something like that. I don't remember.
Was it an Infinity four-door car?
Yes, I think so.
Was it an Infinity Q50?
Yes, I think so.
Now, where did you ride with Woody in this car?
We went to put up on some females.
Where? Would you?
You
was
just,
it
I said, well,
Atlanta?
yeah, Atlanta.
What part of Atlanta?
Shoot. The west side,
The west side?
yeah.
And when you say the west side, can you tell the jury, please, what streets or areas you mean?
I don't remember what street. I know the Sprayway,
The expressway, Was
like
it-
20 West.
20, okay. And where you were going 20 west?
Yeah.
All right. Who was driving?
Wood.
All right. Was Woody driving carefully?
He'll never drive carefully.
Okay. So was he driving any less carefully that night?
Can you just get to what you asking me? I
I'm
don't
asking you,
understand all
was he
that.
Driving recklessly that night?
Yeah, I always drive like that.
All right. So he drove recklessly that night too.
All the time.
Did he spin out that night?
Yes.
Does he always spin out?
Yes.
And when he spun out, did you all hit anything?
Hit some cones and Sprayway.
Okay. And when you hit the car,
So now they have verifications that Woody had the car, that it spun out, that hit. Okay, so now that's verified. I thought that that the prosecution claimed. Well, let's just say whatever light colored car that was on that on the surveillance video, that didn't look crashed at all, to my recollection. And how come this car was returned crashed there is no record of it? Why didn't the two Hertz guys, why couldn't they testify to that this particular Infinity was crashed? Why haven't the prosecution given out the information that they know that the car Mr. Williams rented came back crashed? That would be the ultimate evidence that, and for instance, if now we know, okay, the car was crashed. Okay. It was Mr. Williams' car. Okay. He rented it. It was returned. How come we don't see those crash effects on the surveillance videos? Why haven't the prosecution given forward that evidence to the jury? See here on the surveillance video, this is the crash marks that they were talking about. None. Why didn't they get that from the Hertz guys, that was this car returned crashed? Because clearly they have the records. Why is it not in the report that it was crashed? It's almost as if it wasn't the same car, folks. Isn't that strange?
Homes in the expressway, did any part of the car fall off?
I think the bumper.
And what happened when the bumper fell off? Did either of you get out and put it back on?
Yeah.
Now, to your knowledge, did Thug allow anybody else to drive that Infinity?
I just told you, I never saw Thug in the car. Or you know, Woody just told me that was Thug car. I never saw the car around here.
When you said that you spoke with Investigator Gaither and Investigator Dennis in August of 2015, did you tell them, or rather, did Investigator Gaither ask you who Thug allowed to drive the Infinity while it was in his possession?
And I told them,
That's a yes or no before you get to what you told them.
you say,
Did
repeat it.
Investigator Gaither ask you who Thug allowed to drive the Infinity while it was in his possession?
Yes.
Right, and did you give them an answer?
And I told the only person I ever saw in the car was Woody.
Did you ever tell them Nard, Yak, Shannon, and Dua?
Oh, I lied.
I'm asking you if you ever told them.
If
that.
I did, I lied.
Do you remember telling them that?
If I did, I lied.
I'm asking you a different question.
Yes, I lied.
So you remember?
Overruled.
You remember telling them that?
Yes, I lied.
Okay. Now, did you also tell them that Nard, Yak, Shannon, and Dua were supposed to meet Yak's girl Gucci?
Yes, I lied.
All right. Now, did you tell them about spinning out on the highway?
Who?
Did you tell Detective Gaither and Dennis about spinning out in the Infinity
I think
with Booty on the night
Yes.
of January the 9th,
Yes.
2015?
Yes.
Did you lie about that?
No.
What made you lie about one thing in your words now and lie not about another thing?
Because my friend came to me with a play.
A play?
Yeah.
Who was your friend?
Garlington.
Garland. Now, how long did you tell me you had known Garlington?
About 20 years.
And what month and year did he come to you with a play?
When he got out of jail,
When was that?
it was summer 2015.
Do you remember what month?
Nah.
Now, you said you were equally close with, did I hear you wrong? You were equally cool with Garlington, Thug, Yak, Shannon.
Yes, I think I said that.
Is that not the case anymore?
What you mean?
Overruled.
I think that's a misstatement. I think he was asked right now, and he said equally cool, but Ms. Love is posing it as back in 2015, so I think we need clarity on that.
Okay, can you please make sure that your question is clear?
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome. Back in 2015, August 2015, were you equally cool with Demikion Garlington, Shannon Stillwell, Diamante Kendrick, and Justin Cobb?
No.
Okay, I have a question here. Are witnesses allowed to watch other people's testimony before they have testified? No. Well, if they know they're being called and have been subpoenaed, they can't. If the prosecution forgets, then there's not much they can do. No, but generally, no. If you are called to testify on in a trial, you're not allowed to watch the trial, talk to the other witnesses. You're more or less only allowed to talk to either the prosecution's team or the defense team. That's the general rule. Thank you, Jessica, for your question. Let's go back a bit here.
Equally cool with Demikion Garlington, Shannon Stillwell, Diamante Kendrick, and Justin Cobb?
No.
Who were you the coolest with?
Garlison.
Were you cooler with Kenneth Copeland or Shannon Stillwell?
Copeland.
And when you say that you were cooler with Copeland than Shannon, which one had you known longer?
Copeland.
And which one had you hung out with the most?
Copeland.
How often did you hang out with Shannon?
Not often.
How often did you hang out with Yak?
Not often.
How often did you hang out with Duop?
Not often.
Now, where were you when Demikion came to you with the play?
I had just picked them up. We probably gonna clear.
Okay. So was this before May 6th or May 7th of 2015? It
I think it was after.
was after? When after?
I said, gotta be summer sometime. I don't know. Before after May probably. It had to be after May. 'Cause I was locked up in May. And probably before I got locked up in August. I don't know.
Did you get out between May and August?
Yeah, I just said I got out.
When did you get out?
Like May the 20th or something.
Okay. And when you picked him up, Garlington that is, how did you pick him up?
On my bike.
Okay, what kind of bike?
On BMX.
All right. And where'd y'all go?
The park.
All right. And what time of day or night was it?
Day.
Early morning? Late afternoon?
Probably evening.
Evening time? Okay. Who else was around?
Just me and him.
Okay. In August of 2015, do you know how many shows you had gone to with
A lot.
Had he paid your way to any of those shows?
What you mean pay my
Had he paid for you to go down to any of those shows?
How you gotta pay to get in your own show? That don't make sense.
You got to pay to travel, don't you?
I mean, no, sometimes Moncton or drive your car. You know, it depends on whoever driving.
Okay, but like in January of 2015, Moonchuk didn't go, so did Thug pay?
I don't know who paid. I didn't know I rode.
Did you ever get paid any money by YSL?
No.
And so when you sold clothes for
I
YSL,
helped them out, yes.
you
As a
didn't get
favor.
paid for that either?
I did that as a favor.
Okay. Did you ever receive any free entry to Thug shows?
I'm pretty sure if it's your show, whoever get in free, whoever come with you get in free.
That might be so, but I'm asking you if you got in free to Thug shows.
I don't know. I just went.
Did you pay anything out your pocket?
No.
So in August of 2015, were you more cool or less cool with Thug than you were any of the other people that I named?
I ain't never said nothing to y'all about Thug.
I'm asking you right here, right now, were you cool with Thug in August of 2015?
Yeah.
All right. Were you more or less cool with Thug than you were any of the other people I've named?
Probably more.
How much more?
And more as I've been knowing him longer.
You've been knowing Thug longer than Moonchuk?
No.
Have you been knowing Thug longer than Garlington?
No.
Have you been knowing Thug longer than Woody?
Yes.
Did you meet Woody through Thug or Thug through Woody?
No.
How much longer had you been knowing Thug than Woody?
About 4 or 5 years.
Right. So that would mean you met Woody in what year again?
I mean, we were like 2013,
And that would put you at having met Thug when?
about 2009, something like that.
2009. Where were you living? Were you living on Cleveland Avenue then?
It's,
And where was he living? Thug.
I don't know.
Okay. Did you ever visit his house back then?
No,
Did you ever know him to live or to hang out on Cleveland Avenue back then?
yes,
All right. Did you know of a group called Rock Crew back then?
yes.
Right. And did you know that group to stand for Raised on Cleveland?
Shit. Yeah,
Okay. Was Trontavia Stevens a part of that group?
I don't know.
Do you know Tick?
Yes,
How long have you known him?
20 some years,
Have you known him more or less than you've known Thug?
more.
All right. Did you ever know Tick to be a member of Rock Crew?
Yes,
All right. How'd you know Tick was a member of Rock Crew?
shit. I don't know.
Well, why did you tell this jury that he was a member of Rock Crew?
I just thought he was. Shit, if he went, my bad.
Okay.
Everybody just hang around
What did everybody hang around doing?
at the park,
What part?
Cleveland Avenue.
All right. Was Quentin Porter a part of Rock Crew?
Yes,
When did you first hear about the group Rock Crew?
I don't know.
Did you know about it in 2009,
Yes,
2012?
yes,
Did it still exist in 2015?
yes.
And was Tick still a member?
I don't know. You just said you went no member, so I don't know.
Then how do you know it still
I just
existed?
say I assumed because everybody was hanging around.
Who all was hanging around?
Shit, a lot of people. Everybody, Cleveland Avenue.
Everybody, name 2 or 3 of the people.
Junebug, Larry, and Mike.
None of the ones we named earlier.
They not from Cleveland.
Okay. You're from Cleveland. Were you a member of Rock Crew?
I'm not from Cleveland.
Where are you from?
Capitol Home.
Okay. Now, was Rock Crew, what kind of group was Rock Crew?
R&B group.
A R&B group?
Yeah,
What kind of music, what kind of songs did they put out?
a lot.
Okay, which ones?
I don't remember that joint. 13 years ago.
Who were the artists in Rock Crew?
Coin Porter.
Who else?
That's all I remember.
Did Tick ever sing with Rock Crew?
I don't remember.
Did you know about a R&B group or any other kind of singing group called Red Cartel?
Yeah, that was a record label, yeah.
Was it a record label?
Yeah.
Who was a member of that record label, Red
I don't know.
Cartel?
I don't know.
Then how you know it was a record
Because
label?
I heard
You heard what?
the songs before.
Okay. What song?
I don't know. Yeah, it's been a long time. You talking about something over 15, 13 years ago.
Okay. Was Red Cartel and Rock Crew the same kind of record label as YSL?
I don't know.
Why don't you know?
It's not that's above my pay grade.
You didn't get paid.
I know it.
So how are you able to say that each of these are rap groups, R&B groups, record labels?
Shit, they had songs out.
Okay. Did they have the same members?
I don't know.
Did you know anybody who claimed one or more of these groups?
I knew Coin Porter.
Did Quentin Porter claim more than one of those groups?
No.
So is the answer no? You didn't know anybody who claimed both? Did you ever know Tick to claim Rock Crew and YSL?
I know him claim YSL.
Did you hear yourself earlier say he was Rock Crew too?
But you said he won. So I ain't gonna put that on him.
Do you remember telling the jury that he was?
But you said he won. So I ain't gonna say he is.
I'm asking you, do you remember telling the jury?
You said he wasn't. That's why I'm gonna put it
All
on
right,
if you
listen
saying
to
he
the
wasn't.
question she's asking.
I'm
and answer
answering,
the
Judge.
question.
I'm answering them.
No, listen to the one she's asking right now and answer that one.
Do you remember telling the jury that Tick was Rock Crew?
And then I remember telling him I don't know.
Have you ever seen Rock Crew and YSL?
Oh, good call, QZ. Showing off your hospital labels. Showing off your hospital labels. This is a huge mistake from the prosecution, allowing him on the stand with the with the hospital labels, and it's got 3 of them. Now, one usually only means you've been in there at least overnight. 3 of them means you've been in there and probably in the emergency, through the emergency. Because, yeah, it's the easiest way for hospital personnel to know, okay, what's going on here? How long have this person been here? How often? Is it a return customer, so to speak? For you who don't know, my significant other is an ER nurse. So, yeah. So this is hearsay from me, but yeah, having more than one usually means something really serious has been going on. Now, if anybody in that jury works in hospital, yeah, the sticker from the IV is still in his right arm as well. Jesus Christ. Yeah, hospital admission wristband, ER wristband, and a third wristband. Yeah. One will be named, one will probably be blood products, and the other could be any of various alert bands like allergy, forest, limb alert. Yeah. Either way, it's really telling. I really didn't notice until he started playing with them. The the visuals for the jury here is really important. Wow. Interesting.
I say a tattoo on TikTok.
I ain't looking at no nigga, I mean, no man body.
Okay. So is that a no?
No,
All right. Did you know about Donovan Thomas being associated with any groups?
no. I don't know if he, what you mean associate, what that mean?
A part of, hang out with, a member of?
Mm. I don't think I remember. I don't know.
Have you ever heard of a group called If Gang?
Yes,
Is it a record label too?
I don't know.
Do you know whether Donovan Thomas was a member of it? You have to answer.
I'm thinking about it.
As Casper says, only had 2 hospital wristband when admitted through Flight for Life helicopter. His situation looks more serious. Yeah, I mean, the visuals here is astounding that it is that the prosecution haven't noticed, because we know there is a person in the jury that has been in hospital recently for a situation. That person definitely knows what's going on that arm. Siobhan says, I wonder how many people on this jury lost their jobs if they had one. While on jury duty in the United States, you cannot be fired. That's a federal offense, I believe.
I don't know.
Do you remember ever telling Detective Gaither and Detective Dennis in August that Donovan Thomas was a member of the gang?
I lied.
Now, you said that quickly. If you don't know or have to think about whether he was a member of that gang today, how can you
Because I'm
say-
pretty sure you're gonna be asking me, and then I ain't say it, so I lied.
Mr. Zachary.
I didn't answer your
I'm gonna ask the
question.
court To ask you to allow me to ask the questions and you answer them, okay? So if you don't remember whether Donovan Thomas was a member of this gang, how can you so quickly say today you lied when you said he was, if you told the police that?
Because if you said I told the police that, then I lied.
How do you know you lied if you don't know today that he was a member?
Cause I just can't say nobody no member. You just told me that same thing with Tit.
Bentley, did you know Bentley having a spot on Cleveland, on Oak Drive?
Yes.
And where on Oak Drive was that?
I don't know. I just know it's on Oak.
How often, if at all, did you go there?
Every day.
How cool were you with Bentley in August of 2015?
Not at all.
So why did you go to his spot every day?
Cause it wasn't necessarily his spot. Everybody just be on his street.
I'm sorry, what?
It wasn't necessarily his spot. Everybody just be on a certain street.
Okay, so you did not go to his spot on Oak Drive every day?
I ain't go like everybody just be outside.
Okay. Who is everybody?
The whole Mr. Cleveland Avenue.
Were there any people who weren't YSL that were out there?
I don't know who was that was out there.
You didn't see any people who were YSL who were out there?
No.
Do you know whether Duop was YSL?
Who is Duwop? You gotta show me a picture. You said you gonna show me a picture.
Do you know whether Yak is YSL?
Yeah, I think he signed to him.
Do you know whether Shannon is YSL?
I never told y'all Shannon YSL.
I said, do you know whether he is?
No,
He is or is
he's
not?
not.
So have you ever heard Shannon claim YSL?
No.
So do you have to be signed to YSL to be YSL?
You gotta ask them that.
I'm asking you.
I don't know. I'm not YSL.
Then why you call yourself YSL Lil D?
I told you I was just really selling clothes and stuff. Like I just wanted to be. I don't know. I just wanted shoes. I
Did you
changed my
just wanna
name.
be
That
around Thug?
yes, I was a groupie. I was a fan. Yes,
Were you a fan in 2009?
yes.
What was he doing that made you a fan in
He was rapping.
2009?
He was rapping.
Was he famous?
No.
Now,
So, QZ was a fan, a groupie, before Mr. Williams was famous. Groupie, yeah. When I hear the word groupie, that means something a little bit different. Little bit different.
you're here in an orange jumpsuit. Why are you in an orange jumpsuit? Because the jury doesn't know.
Cause you locked me up.
And why?
I don't know.
Were you subpoenaed to come to court?
I was subpoenaed. Then y'all told me I was on another subpoena up on the old judge. Y'all wanted me to volunteer take a subpoena. What I'm gonna volunteer and take a subpoena for?
Did you, tell your father to tell us you weren't gonna come?
My father, he grown man. He tell you what he want to tell you. I ain't telling that.
Were you with him when he said you weren't gonna come?
No.
Do you know whether he, offered to call anybody?
You want to get my dad up here?
I wanna talk to you.
I know you want to get him up here.
Why?
You know why.
Why?
You know why.
Tell the jury why.
You know why.
So you're not gonna tell the jury. Was your father with you when you talked to Gator and Dennis?
Okay. Okay. That's interesting. So, according to QZ, he never told the prosecution he won't get in. The prosecution says his dad says he won't come in. Now, that is two completely different things. If you are a minor, then your parents have a say in it. If you aren't a minor, then it doesn't really matter what the parents say unless he himself says it. This, if true, from QZ, means that Miss Love either took his dad's word for it and then went with it. I don't think that should be enough to do what they did to him, in my opinion. Because if he doesn't explicitly say, I'm not coming in, but a relative of his says he is not coming in, it doesn't matter.
In August 2015.
No,
Did you live with your father in August 2015?
no,
Who did you live with in August 2015?
myself,
Did you live with SG at any time?
yes,
August 2015.
yes,
Where did you all live?
I don't remember.
You said that you were closest with Mooktum, or you were coolest with Mooktum. All right. Were you coolest with Mooktum in April 2015?
April, yes,
And were you cooler with Mooktum than you were, say, Shannon?
yes,
Now, in April 2015, were you also cooler with Demetrius?
yes,
April 28th, 2015. Do you remember being with those people?
yes.
Where?
Don't we call our case, we was in the car together.
What kind of car?
I don't remember what kind of car.
What did you have in the car?
Gun,
How many?
so, 2, 3, 1 on.
And what time did you all get in the car together? Daytime or nighttime?
Night,
Was it after 10 o'clock at night?
yes,
Had either you or either one of the people you were in the car with been to Club Crucial early?
I think they was,
So how did you end up in the car with them?
came and got me,
Did you ask them to come and get you?
yes,
Why did you ask them to come and get you?
because somebody had shot at my cousin house
Where did your cousin live?
on Campbellton,
All right, and who is your cousin?
Alexis Bryant,
All right. Why did you tell them to come get you if you had your own vehicle?
because my girlfriend was in mine,
Your girlfriend was in yours?
yes.
All right.
No, I'm wrong, because I was going to get in the car with my girlfriend. I was getting dropped off to her,
Okay. And so, did you have guns? in the
yes.
car? How many guns total were in the car?
I know I had 2.
And did you see any more?
Demetrius had 1,
Were you wearing dress during that time?
no,
Okay. So, where did they pick you up from?
Cleveland Avenue,
Where on Cleveland?
the store, I think,
Which store?
BP,
Was that the same one you were at with that gun?
yes,
Where you got arrested in May?
yes,
Okay. So, do you just normally hang out at the BP with guns?
yes.
So when they came and got you, what did they do?
Yes,
Hey, I'm trying to figure out who we're talking about.
Your Honor, I, first of all, asked him about people, and then I referred to those people specifically.
all right.
So,
Who are those people?
Your Honor, I'd ask Phil. Not to continue the question, he'll have no problem.
So is it a vagueness objection?
That's just vague.
Your Honor, I was specific, I asked him about a specific set of people.
I don't know
and
what-
Specifically referred to them.
Yeah, why would
Maybe.
we want to know
I'm
what we're talking about?
Yeah, I mean, the prosecution has been objecting high and low about being vagueness when the defense says they or them, and now the prosecution is using that and wants to still no, that is too vague. Okay, Samantha Yo says, slow this part down, so I will, because if she previously asked about a number of people, and now she's continuing about they or them. Well, which ones? One of them, 2 of them, 3 of them, 2 but not the first one, 2 but not the middle one, 2 but not the third one. Who is she actually talking about? That's the definition of vagueness, and I assume she does it intentional.
Do you want to re-clarify, please?
I can continue, and then I can ask a separate set of questions. Of course, Mr. Sharp has him on cross.
Well, I think we should be clear about what we're talking about right now.
Ask,
Thank you. Go ahead and clarify.
when I asked asked you about Garlington, Moncton, and Shannon.
You said Garlington and Moncton.
You didn't hear me say Shannon?
No.
Oh,
Yes.
That
Let's
they
take a break.
was to
Hang on,
include-
hang on, hang on, hang on. Let's just take our mid-afternoon break
Oh.
right now.
yeah. Yeah. Oh, Miss Love, you asked about 3 people and then went on to they, them. Oh, this is interesting. Oh, this is interesting. This, I mean, we know that Miss Love is a lying liar who lies and who probably sacrifices baby lambs to Satan each morning to even get out of bed. And we know she has put people in jail before just to watch them die. And I assume she's really, really disappointed that not more people have died in jail. I mean, yeah.
All right, can you excuse the witness till we're?
And he's in prison orange with hospital. Yeah. That tells me she wants. Yeah. She wanted the visual of him being in jail for this testimony. I don't think it would have mattered if he had sickle cell or anything. He would have been in jail no matter what, because she wanted this visual.
All right, Mr. Sharp.
Your Honor, what just happened was completely dishonest, disingenuous, misleading, and gross.
And you
And I
objected.
wouldn't, and I objected, and I wouldn't have even thought about anyone doing this other than the fact that I've seen the prior behavior throughout this trial of this type of nonsense where we try to trick a witness into think we're saying they, meaning 2, 3 people, and then try to convince the jury that we're somehow including my client Shannon when it's clear that the witness is not following. That's what we're talking about. And it's disgusting. And I don't know how we cure it, but I'm going to move for a mistrial. I think it was completely intentional. Obviously, it was calculated. Obviously, when I asked for clarification, I would think anyone seeking the truth would gladly clarify. I'm seeking the truth. I would gladly clarify. No, it's sheepish grin and then.
All right, I understand your objection, and I understand what you were saying past that objection. Miss Love.
Oh. Normally, Whitaker tells the defense that you don't need to embellish the words. Now she acknowledges what Mr. Shard was saying past the objection. Oh, hell. Judge Whitaker is not happy. Now, will this mean she will grant a mistrial? No, nothing will. I've said this for quite some time now. More or less, unless Miss Love grabs a knife and tries to kill somebody in the courtroom, this trial will go to the jury. And thank you, John Schoen, for your €5 super chat. Miss Love cooks socks in hell. Thank you. Oh, yeah. All right. That. That's a good one. That's a really good one. All right. Miss Love cooks socks in hell. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. That's the comment of the day. Oh, wow. All right, let's see where this takes us.
I think
May I
one thing that,
respond?
no, you need to listen. I think that one thing that needs to happen is when an objection is made and you are given an opportunity to respond and I make a ruling, even if that ruling is, please clarify, that you then need to obey what my order is instead of continuing to argue.
Your Honor, when I ask for clarification,
Miss Love, this is when you say, yes, Your Honor, and shut the fuck up. You're arguing with the judge. Oh, wow.
and consideration, I believe that as an advocate and as a person who is actually representing the victims.
Oh, you fuck twat. Are you playing victim for being asked to clarify? We know the state technically represents the victims. We know that. That is always understood. There's no need to emphasize that unless you are being so offended that you try to play victim. Oh, you sneaky son of a... Yeah. Samantha, yo, this is just for show. But then again, Miss Love believes she cannot do wrong in a courtroom. She is that kind of narcissist, in my opinion.
To have been victimized in this case and who is representing as much as actually more than an officer of this court, and I represent something. I believe that
you are not more than an officer of the court. You are an officer of the court, full stop. Jesus Christ. Do you have a God complex? No. You sacrifice baby lambs to Satan, in my opinion, metaphorically. Let's just add that up. Oh, you a piece of garbage.
the state has as much right to express, to request, and to ask for consideration and for an allowance to ask the questions that it wishes to ask as the defense does. I believe, Your Honor, the objection that was made, and I understand what Mr. Shart said, but there are a couple of things at play here. One, Mr. Shart is well aware that Mr. Zachary has said that his client was with him. He has said it in the interview that I'm holding in my hand. He is not being honest with the court when he is claiming that Mr. Zachary had no idea what I was talking about. I literally said Shannon, Demikian, and Muntu, and I asked him how close he was with each of them.
Right. And then we went from that to his girlfriend, and then it was not unreasonable. And the objections could just be, vague, but it was not unreasonable to object to make sure that it was clear what the question was, who the they was in the question. And when I say clarify, that needs to be the end of it. And you need to ask a different question, rephrase the question, and let's move on. And there shouldn't be
Your Honor,
an
if the-
issue with it.
Yes, Your Honor, if the state is not allowed to ask for clarification or consideration, that I
I don't
understand.
know what you mean by that.
Oh, you gaslighting son of a what the judge says is not hard to understand. If you're asked to if you're told, ordered to clarify, you clarify. If you believe the judge did wrong, ask for her removal. But this is so passive. Yeah, Samantha, you're passive aggressive. Oh, I'm such a victim. We should be able to do this regardless. No. Regardless of how I feel about a bunch of this judge's ruling, in that courtroom, you do not have a choice. If you believe you've been wronged by the judge, you file a motion. You explain that with case law. If it's really bad, you ask for the removal of that judge. You don't just stand there wearing gang colors, as Miss Love is doing today, and play victim. This is absolutely oh, my emotional support demon is here. Hello, Mr. Jingles. Well, did you? Oh, yeah. Thank you, Mr. Jingles. Hello, folks. It is our supreme leader, Mr. Jingles, the leader of Mr. Jingles Viking Thugs. Hello. Jessica says she's playing the victim when she shouldn't have taken a side. She should be just following facts to try the case. This doesn't help victims at all. Yeah. She has a case to press. Ow. Let me get you up here. There you go. Ow. Are you trying to get in my lap? What's going on with you? What's going on, Mr. Jingles? Hello. Hello, Mr. Jingles. All right, let's. Oh, what a clusterfuck. Ow.
Your Honor, when I
A
asked,
clarification of my ruling, is that what you mean?
when I asked for permission beyond what the court has instructed, I did not know that I should not do that, so I won't do that anymore.
Oh, you absolute. Are you retarded, Miss Love? Are you mentally challenged? You have a ruling. Clarify. Your choice then is to clarify and nothing else. If you want to have permission to do otherwise, you ask for it. Jesus Christ.
That's not what was going on. You're basically, it seems to say, I'm asking permission to do something other than what the court has just ordered me to do. And so if that's what it is, then no, you cannot do that. If you need clarification of a ruling, then of course you can ask that. And if you want reconsideration, then you can ask for that, but that does not need to go on in front of the jury. When I make a ruling, obey the ruling and move on.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor, I really haven't heard any explanation for what happened. I think it was calculated. I'm moving for a mistrial. In the alternative, Your Honor, I do believe that there needs to be a curative instruction, or at least it needs to be clarified who they was. It doesn't matter what he said in the past. He lied in the past. I've already said that. I know what he said in the past,
All right.
but what he's
We don't
testifying-
know, you don't know that he lied. You don't know what the truth is and what the lie is. If
Judge, he can represent that because he is Mr. Stilwell's lawyer.
they are inconsistent, and there may even be a reason for that. Although if they're virtually diametrically opposed, there probably is not an explanation. But when you say he lied, we don't know that.
Okay.
Just like Miss Love doesn't know when he lied.
Well, I'll put it like this. Mr. Stillwell was never charged with those crimes. And Miss Love was not asking about what he said in 2015. She was asking about today.
I understand.
And today, he was clearly responding, they meaning Mr. Garlington, and well, it's
How-
clear to me. I don't believe it's clear to the
Don't
jury.
talk while he's talking.
And I believe it needs to be clarified immediately because, of course, I will have an opportunity to cross, but I will probably not have an opportunity to cross for about 4 days. And I don't think we should be misleading the jury on direct.
All right, I'm going to look back at what the transcript says. I mean, and Miss Love, you may, given that there's now a motion for mistrial on the floor, in assertion that you did things purposefully, you may respond to that.
I vehemently object to the mistrial. I vehemently object to any mistrial, and I beg the court to look at the transcript and see what I said right before I asked him the people that I just mentioned. And I would ask that the court, I mean, if the court deems it appropriate that such language is gross and all of the disparaging remarks made by counsel for the defendants are appropriate, that's one thing. But I'd ask that the court limit that type of behavior, which is, you know, not
Oh, folks, this is how abusers act. They gaslight, they try to shift the blame. She is textbook abuser. Textbook. And when you changed from, you asked, she might have mentioned Shannon at one question in the past. That does not mean that your next few questions is about when you only refer to them or they. Textbook abuser behavior. No wonder she's single.
becoming of officers of the court.
I agree with that. It is not becoming.
Oh, come on.
All right, y'all can take a break if you want to. I'm going to take a look at this transcript.
All right. Now we can skip ahead a bit.
Will he go home?
Now we know she didn't grant the mistrial. We already know that because I know that through Twitter, but I could tell that even before. She will never grant a mistrial in this trial.
Wants to hear from the court in reference to if he finishes today, will he go home? If he doesn't finish, he wants to know where he's going to go. And I've tried to explain to him, you don't want him to go back to the jail. He can't go to the hospital. And so we
Okay.
talked about it.
Well, if he finishes today,
Miss Love, you were ordered by the judge to get to an agreement with the defense, with the accused's attorney. Apparently, you don't care about court orders.
then as long as there's nothing else holding him, which I don't think there is, then yes, he goes home. And
I
if he
told him he can give
doesn't,
it-
yeah,
doesn't
I
finish
can
today.
let him know that. If he doesn't, do y'all have a proposal?
That's what we were trying to work on, and I told Mr. Shah that I understand that his interest is.
Can y'all hear him? Her? Can you use a mic?
And we talked about it. So she just needs to come up. You know, he wants to go home with the GPS. I understand the court doesn't
Well, I'll
want him to,
just,
and neither does the DA.
all right, I'll tell him that might still be determined.
Okay. And that's what I told him.
Okay. All right, and in terms, I have reviewed what the line of questioning was, and I do not think that there was anything nefarious and purposeful about trying to trick him into something other than what he'd been talking about.
If that only happened once or twice in a trial, sure. But when it happens with almost every state witness or state civilian witness, then it's purposeful. Then it's tactics.
At the same time, I can see how it might have been, well, now, are you sure he knows that the people we were just asking about are the people that you're talking about him now, coming to pick him up? So a valid objection, it remains sustained, but the motion for mistrial is denied. I am not giving any kind of instruction. You can just fix it by asking the next question. All right, anything else on that?
Your Honor, just for the record. Okay. And I
Okay,
understand
and you
your-
use the mic too.
Yep, I understand. Yes, Your Honor, and I understand the court's ruling. I think that all of a sudden, the use of they and those people instead of names, and then when asked for clarification, the refusal to do so, I think suggests that there was some calculation. But I understand the court's finding, but I would ask the court to instruct Ms. Love to clarify with the first question, so everyone's on the same page, so there's not confusion amongst the jury, who he is referring to when he's talking about they in the car that night.
Yeah,
Okay, yes, go ahead.
actually, Your Honor, I think the court was about to say something more.
I think I was probably gonna
Mhm.
say maybe the same thing as you, but I have no idea, so go ahead.
I was going to ask that the court read back the exact question that I'd asked, and right before I said they.
I'll
Why?
have to find it again.
So
Why?
that wasn't what the court was going.
Why? Why the frick? Why the frick is this necessary? This is so bad. Again.
All right, so after the questioning about where he and his girlfriend lived, you said you were close with, and obviously this is the real time. It's not the official transcript, but you said you were close with Mungtunk or cool with Mungtunk. All right, were you close with Mungtunk in April 2015? Yes. Okay, and were you cooler with Mungtunk than, say, Shannon? Yes. All right. Now, in April 2015, were you also cooler with Garlington? And I can't tell what the rest of that is. Yes. April 28th, 2015. Do you remember being with those people? Yes. All right.
Yeah. She switched topic. That means it's a completely new situation. It's impossible for anyone to know who of the previous people she was talking about. And I believe that's intentional. Completely intentional. These are two different subjects. And that needs clarification.
Right. And I have to, where? Back, some kind of car. I can't tell exactly. I don't know what kind of car. What'd you have in the car? A gun? How many? 2 or 3? Yes, ma'am. Okay, and what time did y'all get in the car together? Daytime or nighttime? Nighttime. Was it after 10 o'clock? Yes, all right. I mean, at this point, there's nothing that indicates he doesn't think that we're talking about the 3 people that she just asked about.
What? What? Oh, Judge Whittaker. It is not about you understanding. It's about what QZ is understanding. So oh, Let me go back.
Or 10 o'clock, yes, all right. I mean, at this point, there's nothing that indicates he doesn't think that we're talking about the 3 people that she just asked about. Had either you or either one of the people you were in the car with been at Club Crucial earlier? I think they was. So how'd you end up in the car with them? And then the names don't always get, but somebody came to get you. Yes, all right. Why did you ask them to come get you? Because my head shot. And then something about where my cousin lived, Camp something or another, Campbellton. Why'd you tell them to come get you if you had your own vehicle? Because my girlfriend was in it, your girlfriend was in yours. Yes, all right. I don't think, because I was going to get the car with the girlfriend.
Yeah, this is a lot of questions after the naming of people. A lot of questions.
Something, did you have guns in the car? Blah, blah, blah. Were you wearing dreads at that time? No. Okay, so where did they pick you up from? Cleveland Avenue. Where on Cleveland? The store, I think. Which store? Same one you were at with the gun? Do you normally hang out at the store with guns? Yes. All right, and he came and got you. What did they do? Your Honor, I'm going to object. So, I mean, again, valid objection, but also not, not any kind of purposeful, oh, aha. So
There's a live stream, and I reviewed the live stream. I'll also point out that nowhere in discovery, he says they were at the club, okay? In the
it would
testimony.
have been easier to review the live stream. Yep.
And Mr. Zachary said they were at the club.
Mhm.
The state is very well aware, as am I, that even in prior statements, it is clear that, and Mr. Sledge's testimony, Mr. Sledge and Demekion Garlington were at the club. Mr. Stillwell is never alleged to be at the club, at Club Crucial. So it is very clear that Mr. Zachary is referring to, when he says they, is referring to Mr. Sledge and Mr. Garlington. It is also very clear to me by the fact that Ms. Love repeatedly refuses to clarify that she wants the jury to believe that they also includes Mr. Stillwell, which is not what Mr. Zachary believes at this point.
Okay.
And I'm just going to ask that it be clarified with the first question, and then we can stop using pronouns.
We're not
and
going to
move
stop
forward.
using pronouns. I mean, that's just not how people talk.
Well,
But
it's led to a mess.
she had
right now.
already been instructed to clarify before we took the break, and she's going to clarify. And
Your Honor, I believe that Mr. Zachary already addressed that. The court can listen to the live stream or look at the transcript, but I think that I heard him say, because of Mr. Sharp's, I don't know what it was, but Your Honor.
yeah, he then said, I didn't hear you say Shannon. That's kind of how we left it.
And so, Your Honor, to the extent that there are these dispersions being cast, these, I don't know, attempts for, I don't know.
Yeah, that needs to stop. I mean, you don't know what's in Miss Love's head. You don't know why she's asking a particular question.
I can take a calculated guess that inside Miss Love's head is Satan whispering, go on, kill people, do as much damage as you possibly can, be evil. But that's just a calculated guess from me.
And, just let's stop making it so personal between attorneys. That's really not appropriate. It's not professional.
Okay, well, Your Honor, I have strong feelings about what just happened. And I will stop saying what you don't want me to say, but I can't help how I feel about it. And that's not going to change. But I've also been accused of insinuated that I've been conspiring with a man that I've never spoken to in my
Let's-
life repeatedly. And
Let's
so-
everybody stop with the
Well,
personal
yeah.
jabs against each other to the extent anybody has been making them.
there's a difference in jabs here, Whitaker. While the defense is saying she does this intentional, Ms. Love asserts to the court that defense attorneys are talking to specific people, which is a false statement of fact, a lie to the court repeatedly. There's a clear difference.
Okay, all right. We don't need any more of this. Let's just get back on what we're doing that's supposed to be based on facts. Okay, so you understand if you're going to ask any more about this line of questioning, clarify who it is that you are asking him about.
Yes, Your Honor, I understand that if I'm going to ask him any more about this question, I'll
Okay.
clarify who
All
I'm
right,
talking
thank you.
about.
So we'll get Mr. Zachary out and I'll let him know that if he finishes today, he can go home. And that I don't quite know where he's going to go otherwise. So let's do that. And yes,
Your Honor, can I just make the court aware and ask for a court's ruling on what you just said about what I believe it was Miss Love asks about Mr. Zachary's father saying something, and she said earlier that it was said to Miss Love by the father that he has spoken with myself and Mr. Short. I'd ask that that not be gone into, not only is it hearsay, but I don't know the evil or the benefit of doing that, because I've done nothing wrong at all, nor did Mr. Short. I'll vouch for him. The second thing is Miss Love brought out from this witness that he purchased 2 or 3 guns from Arrowhead Pawn Shop.
yeah,
One of those guns is found during the unlawful search of Mr. Williams' home on July 15, 2015. So I know I've done this. I know it's been ordered by the predecessor judge. I know it's been ordered by this court. I don't want to stand up and have to then say a mistrial and get a curative instruction if the mistrial is denied. That has to be just, in my opinion, just stayed away from. The fact that that gun was found, or a gun was found in Mr. Williams' home. So
Okay.
I'm doing
May I
it now.
respond to that, please? Your Honor?
yes.
Your Honor, with respect to the pertinent part, which is the part about the gun being found at Jeffrey Williams' home, and the assertion about the unlawfulness of the search, I won't even go back into that. But Your Honor, as it pertains to who he gave those guns to, I believe that it is a valid question, and I will ask that the court instruct or allow me to speak to Mr. Zachary to tell him, don't say anything about where it's located, but I am going to ask him who he gave or who the guns were given to. The fact that it was found at Jeffrey Williams' home doesn't mean he gave it to Jeffrey Williams. And even if he did give it to Jeffrey Williams' home, that doesn't imply or speak to the search of Jeffrey Williams' home. So the state should not be precluded from putting before the jury the fact that Mr. Zachary purchased guns for other members of YSL and that he told detectives that he purchased guns for other members of YSL and which guns he purchased.
Okay.
So
Yeah, all of that should be fair game. Where any gun was ultimately found, if it was found in a search that was suppressed, should not be gone into. And does this witness even know that it was found?
I don't know, but because
anywhere?
this witness can go off, I want to tell him before he gets, back in front of the jury to not, I don't think he does. I have not spoken with him about his knowledge of that search. So I want to instruct him when I ask him, who did he give the other one to answer only that question and not anything about where he thinks it might have been found, because I don't have it in, my head. He hasn't told me where he thinks it might have been found.
It would be really weird if he answers that, if you just say, who'd you give the gun to? But I mean, I
Have you
guess
not-
better safe than sorry.
I mean, I'm sorry, but the court has heard testimony that is non-responsive all day.
I believe it's derivative evidence which has been suppressed. And the law enforcement officers after July 15, 2015 are asking Mr. Zachary about the search of Mr. Williams' home where that gun was found in his name. So I don't believe that it's a proper question because
All right, hang on. He's already testified that he bought several guns from whatever that pawn shop was. So as long as your line of questioning is about that, then that's not derived from law enforcement finding them in the search, is it?
right.
No.
So,
But I
And that's
believe,
why I want to ask and make sure, that's why I'm asking for the court's permission to just tell him, don't mention that.
I wouldn't suggest it to him if he does, we
Oh.
don't think he already knows it. Just answer the question I ask you.
Judge,
Yes.
he has answered.
If he already asked the question, why do you need clarification of that answer? Why do you even need to go down that route?
Not answered questions that I've asked him for the last
All
hour
right,
and a half.
I will do that. What else?
The record, Your Honor, before the next question is asked, I believe I may have to renew my motion for a mistrial.
On with the one you just made?
Yes,
Okay.
just for the record.
Oh, okay. Yes, no, that's.
you.
All right, I thought you meant something else just happened. Okay. Yes, you're just preserving it. Okay, that's fine. Okay, let's get him out here.
Just instruct that when I ask, who did he give the gun to? That is the only,
I'm not agreeing
answer
that he
that
will
is
say
being-
who he gave, excuse me. That's a bad question. Who did he
Well,
give the guns to?
I mean,
Presumes he gave the gun to
there's
someone.
a lack of foundation at this point to that. So I'm going to be more general in my instruction to him than that. We're ready for him.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Why should her question should not be who did you give the gun? It's did you give the gun to somebody?
Oh, can everybody who's operating cameras make sure that you do not, and I think some of you who've been here the whole time know that, but any of the newer people, no pictures, no filming of this area over here, the detention area, okay? That includes still shots. All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Zachary, I know from your attorney that you had a couple of questions about sort of what happens next. And as long as we finish your testimony today, the direct and cross and whatever anybody of the attorneys wants to ask you, then yes, you can go home today.
What did I finish that?
If you don't finish, then we haven't quite worked out where you're going, but it will not be you're free to go, have a great life. It will not be Rice Street, but it will also not be bye, have a great life. It'll be something short of that because you will, we'll just need to make sure that
Put me on house arrest, my grandma's funeral. tomorrow.
we'll sort out, your attorney and the state are working on potential conditions right now. So we'll sort that.
You know what? She could technically sequester him to a hotel room with ankle bracelet and somebody guarding him. That's actually a possibility.
What do you mean conditions?
I don't know what they're going to be. I mean, I may end up needing to impose them, but if they can work something out, then we're going to go with that. Also, when any of these attorneys is asking you a question, I want you to try to listen carefully to what specifically it is they're asking you and then answer just that question, and you can explain it, but try not to just go off on something else entirely, okay? All right. Okay. Are we ready for the jury? Yes, all right.
For you who don't know, I will have a panel show later. and it is stacked. It is stacked. It starts in just over 90 minutes. And just so far is at least these people coming in and out of the panel, so to speak. It is Catnot Williams, Larry, the DUI guy, AV to the seventh power says she will drop by, Chandler Remington, Jeff from Legal Vices, Kayla, well, she says she will be here every Friday. Valhalla awaits, my secret twin. My secret twin says he will drop by. Megan Fox, not that one, Megan Fox, the writer. Ian Runkle, Sylvia, of course, Rob from Lumber Law. He said so in the stream last Friday that he would drop by, and I'm holding him to it. Dave from Michigan Law Show. Mo in the deep end. Kaiser Pineapple. Sean, potentially criminal. Dali Talks will be here. Hella from Excited Utterance. The MD Law, and Ketchup Man. There might be more. Those are the people who will be here. Now, on that show, we will have this. Hold on while I will have two wheels. I will have Wheel of Regrets and Wheel of Rewards. Wheel of Regrets, you already know. It is shots and habanero sauce. Wheel of Rewards is good things. Because sometimes you deserve good things, especially when you're celebrating 10,000 subscribers and everything. And yeah, I will go through the rules of engagement on that live stream that starts at 6 p.m. Eastern. Okay, let's get back to the trial.
Let's get the jury out.
Branca is invited, but he is out with his
I'll tell you later.
motorcycle, so it depends. All right. And this panel show will go on for a few hours, so don't, yeah. So if you have anything planned for an hour, don't you worry. It's going to be going on and on and on. Oh, there's more people here now. Yeah. Have you seen this? Hold on. I went to Atlanta and love didn't catch me. Yes, I was in Atlanta and she didn't catch me. All right, skip ahead. Now, if we will be finished in time, I will go back to when to the start of Mr. Sprinkle's testimony.
Appreciate that. Jurors, thank you all for your patience when we have to take breaks. I appreciate that, as do the attorneys. All right, go ahead, Ms. Love.
Thank you. Mr. Zachary.
Will you clarify? Will she clarify?
When, just before we broke on the break, and you told the jury who you are saying today was in the car with you on April 28th, 2015, who is it that you are saying now was in the car with you?
Me, Garlington, and Sledge.
Okay. You,
and
Garlington,
Sledge.
and Sledge?
Yeah.
Right. Today, is it your testimony that you three were the only people in that car?
Yes.
Okay.
Today, that was his statements back then as well. So this is her eliciting that he's lying now. She can't help herself.
Now, you spoke about talking to detectives Gaither and Dennis back in August of 2015. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And before you spoke to them, you said that you had not spoken to them outside the room where you were interviewed, correct?
No.
Okay. No, you hadn't spoken with
No, I
them.
haven't.
Okay. So had either one of them told you or given you any indication that they wanted you to do anything other than give them information that they could confirm or deny?
What you mean by that?
I'll change it. When you talked to detectives Gaither and Dennis, did they ask you about shootings that had happened in the city of Atlanta between January 10th, 2015 and the time that you were talking to them in August?
Yes.
And when you talked to them, did you tell them information about those shootings?
Yes.
All right. Which shootings did you tell them information about?
About April 28th.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And as it related to April 28th, who did you tell them was, first of all, what did you tell them happened on April the 28th?
I don't know. I was just making up stuff as I go.
Okay. Now, is it your testimony today that you just made up everything that you told them about April 28th?
Yes.
And do you know whether, did they confront you with anything after you gave them information about April the 28th?
What you mean confirm me with?
For instance, if you said a light was red and it was green, would they ask you or challenge you?
I had already knew what had been said before. So I
What are
knew
you
what to
talking
say.
about?
You somehow them, the police, I had already knew what was said to them before I even said something to them.
Okay, let's talk about that. What do you mean you already knew what was said before to them?
I had
Your
already
Honor,
knew.
I'm going to object. This is potentially opening the door for hearsay, I believe.
Your Honor, I potentially. Without saying what someone else said, what do you mean you already knew when? What are you
I
talking
had
about?
already knew that somebody else had already told them about the shooting.
Okay. So how, I'm sorry, let me ask you this. Were you present when someone else told them about a shooting?
No, someone told me.
All right. When did someone tell you?
When they got out of jail.
All right. I'm asking, do you know a month or a year?
I told you 2015.
Okay. And is the person who told you something they told police about the shooting, Demekion Garlington?
Yes.
All right. Now, is there a time frame that you believed Demekion Garlington told police these things?
I just know he got out of jail. He told.
Don't
told me.
tell what he said. Just, do you have a time frame?
2015.
Do you know when in 2015 he supposedly told
No.
police certain
I just
things?
know it when he got out of jail.
Okay. Now, did those things that he told police, that you believed he told police, did they involve you?
Yes.
All right. So when you first told police about the April 28th shootings, were there more than one?
Yeah.
How many shootings were there?
I'm like 2, 3.
How many? Tell the jury where you all went after you got picked up.
For clarity's sake, I'm just gonna ask
He's,
you all,
Judge, he's already asked. Go ahead and clarify.
Are we talking about the same people you just told the jury was in the car with you that picked you up?
It's like the same people you asked me about.
Okay, and what people are they?
Garlington and Schlid.
Okay, so where is it that you are saying today that you all went after Garlington and Sledge picked you up?
To get my girlfriend car. To get my girlfriend.
Okay. To get your girlfriend from what location?
My cousin house.
Where?
Campton.
All right. And did you do anything between the time from leaving where you were on Cleveland Avenue at the BP to your girlfriend's house, or to your girlfriend's location on Campbellton?
No.
All right. How long did it take you to get from the BP to Campbellton?
I don't know.
All right. Generally speaking, is it like an hour or more like 15 or 10 minutes?
Like 20 minutes.
Thank you. When you got to Campbellton, did anyone else join you in the car?
No.
Where did you all then go after leaving Campbellton?
To the west side.
Where on the west side?
I don't know them streets.
Whose house were you going to?
Somebody that had shot at my cousin house.
Somebody what?
Who had shot at my cousin house. We going to their house.
And whose house was that?
I don't know.
So how did you determine where you all were going to go?
It wasn't even just, it's like when we get out of Sprayville, we saw that car and we followed the car.
What car did you all follow?
A car that shot at my cousin house.
And describe the car for the jury.
I don't remember the car.
Was it a pickup truck, a regular sedan
I
with
think it was a car.
4 doors, 2 doors?
Yes,
All right. Which one?
4.
All right. And did you believe you knew who was driving the car? Are you thinking?
Yes, I'm thinking.
Okay.
I don't remember who was driving the car.
Okay. At the time, did you know or believe someone in particular was driving the car?
I can't remember.
Okay. So as you sit here today, is the car parked in front of a house when you all see it, or is it driving?
The driver.
And what do you all do? Follow it?
Yeah,
How far do you all follow it?
not that far. About like 3, 4 minutes.
Do you follow it to a house?
Yes,
Are you familiar with Martin Luther King?
yes,
All right. Are you familiar with where the Atlanta University Center is?
no,
Are you familiar with Morris Brown College?
no,
Spelman, Morehouse, anything like that? Okay. Do you know whether you followed the car to the Martin Luther King area of Atlanta?
I don't remember. I just know it was from we got out Sprayway, like 3, 4 minutes.
What now?
When we get out Sprayway, like 3, 4 minutes.
What exit did you all get off?
MLK,
You did get off at MLK?
yeah.
All right. And what did you all do after you got off the expressway at MLK?
Follow the car.
Right. And where did you follow it to? I don't need the
house.
address. What happened when the car got to the house?
I started shooting at the car.
All right. Had the occupants of the car gotten out of the car when you started shooting at it?
Yes,
Did you see the occupants get out of the car?
yes,
All right. And were the occupants standing outside the car, inside the house when you started shooting at the car?
they were walking towards the house.
Okay. And what kind of house was it? A standalone condo apartment?
It's a house.
Was it a brick house?
I don't remember.
All right. And how many people had gotten out of the car?
Just me and Carlos.
No, I'm asking you, I'm
Oh.
sorry. I should be clear. The car you all were shooting at, how many people had gotten out of it?
Thank you. I
Like
changed it.
4, 3, something like that.
Were they all males, all females, or a combination?
Males.
All males? Okay. Now, did you know which of those males or all of those males had supposedly shot at your cousin's house?
Say I was high. I don't remember. I just know when we pulled up, they were shooting at our house.
Oh, so you saw them shooting?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to show you what has been admitted as State's Exhibit 6KK. And if you recall, or if it looks familiar to you at all, would you tell the jury? And if not, let the jury know, okay? All right. Does any part of that house in front of the white car look familiar?
I don't remember.
Okay. So what kind of gun did you use to shoot at the car? Did you shoot at the house too?
Shoot, I shot. I just know I shot.
Okay. What kind of gun did you use to shoot?
I don't remember. I just know I had a gun. I
Okay.
got 3 on.
Did you have all 3 of them in your hands at one time?
Nah,
All right. So how many did you have in your hands while you were shooting?
1, I think.
Was it a long gun or a short gun?
It was the gun I got caught with. It was short,
Okay. Did it shoot short bullets or longer bullets?
long, but
Long bullets? Okay. Do you have any idea how many shots you fired?
no.
All right. So what made you stop firing?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Did the gun have a banana clip or some kind of long magazine?
I don't remember what kind of clip it had.
And then what did you do after you stopped firing?
Got in the car and pulled off.
What color was the car you were in?
I don't remember.
Okay. And where were the other occupants of the car when you got out and started firing?
Oh, what car?
The car that you were in.
Me and Garton got out. Shalette stayed in.
All right. So did you and Garlington both shoot at the house?
Yes.
All right. Did he have the same kind of gun that you had?
I don't remember. I was high.
Was he shooting, would you all switch guns or did you all have different guns?
Yeah, they own gun.
Okay.
QZ is almost asleep now. How is this not apparent to the court that he's basically dozing off?
Where did you all go after that?
I don't remember.
Did you? What now?
I told you I went in and out of it at night.
Okay. Do you know Darren?
Going up to 1.25 speed, so we get done before the panel show.
Mills?
No,
Do you know the name Darren Mills?
no,
Do you know the name Philip Collins?
no.
Do you know the name Philo?
Yes,
All right. How long have you known the name Philo?
not that long.
When you say not that long, did you know Philo or the name Philo in 2015?
Yes,
Did you know the name Philo on April 28, 2015?
yes.
Did you know whether Philo had a child?
I don't know.
Did you know whether he had a girlfriend?
I don't know.
Did you know where Philo lived?
No,
All right. Now, how would you describe how you felt about Philo? Were you cool with Philo?
No,
Had you had conflicts with Philo?
no.
Describe for the jury, Philo, best you can. You don't have to be too specific.
I don't remember him.
All right. Do you remember whether he was taller than you or shorter than you?
A bit of an announcement. It seems like QZ at the end of day fired his lawyer. Which means I will not address his the fundraiser for legal fees at all. But I mean, his fundraiser is at almost $9,000, and his attorney up until today has been there more or less the entire week. So yeah, $9,000 should be enough for that, unless he changes his mind during the weekend. Yeah, this can be interesting next week.
I don't remember that law.
Okay. How did you know Philo?
I don't remember.
Well, why do you remember Philo?
You talking about how did I know him? I don't remember how I know him. I just remember the name.
What do you remember about Philo to remember the name?
I don't remember. I don't remember exactly how I remember nobody.
Okay. Now, when you said that earlier, did you say that you all shot up maybe more than one house, maybe one or two?
Probably think we shot up 2 years.
Was one of them an apartment complex?
Yes.
Now, why did you go shoot up an apartment complex?
Told you. I was in and out of it that night. I was on drugs.
What
I
now?
was in and out of it that night. I was on drugs.
Okay. So what did that have to do with your going to shoot up an apartment complex?
I believe that whoever apartment complex, they shot up my cousin's house.
But I thought you said you followed the people that you saw shooting at your cousin's house to the standalone house that y'all shot
Like 3
up.
or 4 of them in the car.
But I thought you said the car went to a house that you shot up.
They pulled off when we pulled off.
Okay, okay. So,
They got back in the car and pulled off.
and did you follow them to another place?
I think we bumped into them some late on at night or something.
Okay. And where did you bump into them later on that night?
I think it was still in the same area.
Okay. Was it the apartment complex or the house?
It
When you
was
say the
apartments.
same?
It was in apartments.
Okay. I'm going to show you 62 CC, which has already been admitted as evidence. And I'm sorry, Lima, 62 Lima, LL, and see if you remember or if this area looks familiar to you. Okay. It's already been admitted. So just look at it. All right. And as we're pulling that up, do you remember anything at all about that apartment complex beyond that it was an apartment complex?
No.
Kristen Vasquez asked, are you going to be in costume later? Well, I haven't opened the package from yet, so I hope it's the right size. But yes, my Bucky's onesie has arrived. And if it fits, the stream will be, the panel show stream and celebration stream will be in a Bucky's onesie. And thank you for your support. Thank you, Kristen.
Okay. Now, when you say that you told Detectives Gaither and Dennis about that, when you first started talking about it to them, did you tell them that you were involved?
Shoot, I told them I was in the car.
Did you tell them at first that you were in the car?
However it happened, I pleaded guilty to it, so I don't know.
I'm not asking you that.
Are you going to use this exhibit?
Yes, and this is the exhibit 62 Lima that's on the screen. Does that area look familiar?
Yellow flags! Yellow flags. Oh. Oh.
Here to you.
No.
Okay. You can take it down. All right. So when you told the jury a moment ago that you told Detectives Gaither and Dennis what you did because you knew that Garlington had told them something,
I
Did I-
told you that already though, before.
I understand. When you said that, do you know or did you believe that Garlington had said you shot up somebody's house?
He told me that he said I did.
Okay.
How is that not hearsay?
Garlington, the one that you've been friends with for 20 years?
No.
All right. Did he tell you why he would say that?
I ain't asking, I just laughed.
Oh, you did? Okay. Okay. So if you believe that Garlington told them that you did it, why did you deny doing it initially?
Cause you're supposed to deny it.
Did,
What you're supposed to do is shut the fuck up when... I mean, I do not answer a question without my lawyer present. It's not that hard. You have the right to remain silent. Then shut the fuck up. Not legal advice, but it's actually in the Miranda rights. It's in there. They are saying it. You have the right to remain silent. Now, I do know there's a clear difference between having the right to remain silent or having the ability to remain silent. And clear to me in this trial is that almost no criminal in Atlanta have the ability to shut the fuck up.
you tell Detectives Gaither and Dennis what you believed that Garlington had told them?
Yes, I put a mixer to it though.
A what?
I twisted up a little.
What do you mean?
Shit, I added on what I wanted to add on.
What does that mean?
Try to make myself a little innocent.
Okay, fair enough. So who else did you believe that Garlington had told shot up these people's houses?
What you mean?
Your Honor, that calls for hearsay.
I said,
You can,
I'll rephrase.
okay.
Who else did you tell Detectives Gaither and Dennis shot up these homes on April 28th, 2015?
I don't remember. Like 9 years ago?
Did you tell them that Moontoon shot up the houses?
No. That's why I told him Moonton was there. I never told him Moonton shot no house.
Okay. Did you believe that Garlington had already said something about Moontoon?
Yes.
Overruled.
All right. And you, Moontoon, and Garlington were all equally close to one another during this time?
No.
Okay. Then describe, if you all weren't
Me and
equally,
Moonton closer.
you and Moonton were closer? Okay. And so when you believed that Garlington said Moonton did something, how did you confront him about it?
Front who guards?
Yes.
No.
Okay. Now, if Garlington said that you and Moonton shot up these houses, along with Garlington, was Garlington conveying something that actually had occurred?
Can you use a word I understand?
Which part didn't you understand?
Conveying.
Okay, thank you. Was he saying something that had actually happened?
Yes.
Okay. So then you just went in and told Gaither and Dennis what happened because you believed or knew that Garlington had already done it?
I knew, yes, I knew.
Okay. Now, did you ever tell Moonton that Garlington had told on him?
I think he knew already.
I'm asking you if you ever told Moonton that Garlington told on him.
No, I was just trying to like free Moonton.
Okay, were you? Okay. Did you also tell Gaither and Dennis, or rather, let me ask you this. When you, did you try to tell them at first that you were not there?
Probably did. I don't remember. I think I did probably.
Do you remember they told you you were there? I have your phone records.
And then I think I told them that
But yes or no, just that part first, okay? You can explain, I promise. Just, do you remember whether Gaither or Dennis told you, we know you were there because we got your phone records?
I think they did say that.
Okay, now, did you want to say something else after that?
Yes, but when the phone came back, it went in my name, so they didn't have my phone name, and I already knew that.
Okay, what do you mean when the phone came back? It
When
wasn't
they-
in your name?
When they tried to see who name the phone was in,
Did they tell you they tried to see whose name the phone was in?
huh?
So they lied. And in the United States, cops are allowed to lie. For some fucked up reason, cops can lie. Except, well, they're not supposed to in court, but we've seen in this trial, they are perfectly capable of lying their teeth off. But yeah, in the rest of the civilized world, cops are not allowed to lie to suspects or defendants or witnesses. But in the United States, they are.
Did they tell you that they tried to see whose name the phone was in?
I think my lawyer had already knew.
What,
Somebody told me.
did they tell you before that interview?
Yes, when I got locked up for the May the 6th, when I got caught with a gun, I think they had said in the open court.
Okay. Did you think that the phone being in someone else's name would make it harder for the police to find out it was you who had done the shooting?
They ain't find out because of the phone.
I understand, but you mentioned they found out it was in someone else's name, right?
Yes,
So did you think that would make it harder for them to learn it was you?
yes.
Okay. Whose name was the phone in?
I don't remember. I just know it went in mine.
You know what?
No, it wasn't in my name.
All right. I don't want to know your mother's whole name. I just want to know what it begins with.
Okay.
Okay. And that phone that you had at that time, what were is it one that you still have now?
No,
All right. So is it okay to ask you about the whole number?
no, you can't.
Why?
Because that's my mama number.
Okay. So it's still your mom's number?
Yes, it was never my phone.
Okay. Give me the last digit of your mama's number.
3,
All right. How long has your mom had that number?
about 20 years.
All right. And
I
if I
don't.
show you the first 6,
I don't need groupies. Just saying, I don't need groupies. In my world, groupie means something other than QZ talked about when he claimed he was a groupie of Young Thug. No, I don't need that kind of relationship with you, my viewers. I'm very thankful you're here, but
numbers without publishing them of your mom's number, will you recognize it?
Yes.
All right. Your Honor, I will, for purposes of this questioning, label this exhibit States 505 Yankee. And if anyone wants to see it, I will show it to them. Okay. Mhm.
Oh, okay.
All right. So approaching with the court's permission. You may. Approaching you with States 505 Yankee, okay? That's this. I don't want you to call out any of these numbers. Were those the first 6 digits of your mom's number?
Yes, y'all thought it was my number?
Let me ask you this.
Yes,
Were those-
yes, yes.
Okay. And is this the number that you believe that they had the records?
No,
So your mother's number that she's had for 20 years, now you're saying that's not the number that they had the records to?
no, that's not the number.
Okay. So whose number did they have the records to?
I told your cell phone that belonged to me, but was in somebody else's name.
So it was your cell phone.
Not that phone right there.
I understand. But the cell phone they had the number to was your cell phone.
Yes,
And you no longer have that cell phone.
no.
Does your mother have that cell phone?
She got the number you just showed me.
I understand. Does your mother have the cell phone that belonged to you, but that was in someone else's name?
What the number? You show me the number.
You said your mother had one number, and this was it, right?
I highly doubt it's the same phone if it's 9 years ago. It might be the same number. I highly doubt people, not that many people keep their phone for 9 years or more.
Can you show me the number so I can make sure?
I can.
That number right there, yes, that's her number.
Did she have any other, is this the one she had for 20 years?
She got 2 phones.
Oh, she got 2 phones.
Yeah.
The second phone, what number does it use?
I don't remember. It ain't on no more.
So nobody uses that number. Is that the number that you had that was in someone else's name?
No,
So let's stop talking about your mama's phones, okay? All right, so who had the phone? Whose name was the phone in that you? had?
John Doe.
John Doe, okay. So now since nobody owns that number now, may I ask you the full number?
Yes,
All right. Did that number end in 5726?
yes,
Okay, thank you. Now, if the number was in the name John Doe and the police had that number, do you have any personal knowledge of how they learned or found out you were the one using that phone?
no.
And I'm gonna show you what I have marked as Stacy did 506 Yankees. And if anyone wants to see it, I'll let them see it. All right.
Daily quick bites. Surprise they caught Diddy. You would think he'll slip right through their fingers. Yeah, with that amount of baby oil, he would slip out of anything.
I'm showing you 506 Yankee, and I'm asking you, is that the number that you had that was in the other?
Yes,
Okay, thank you. And the number is at the top line of 506 Yankee, is on the top line?
yes.
All right. Were you, Demikian, and Moulton the only people you told detectives, Gaither and Dennis, were in the car with you?
I don't remember.
Do you remember telling them Shannon was in the car with you too?
If I did, I lied.
Okay, but do you remember telling them that?
Yes,
What good would it have done, or did it do you to tell them Shannon was in the car with you?
because Garlington told him Moulton was in the car.
So what does that have to do with Shannon?
That's his homeboy.
If Garlington told them Moulton was in the car, and you told them Moulton was in the car, why did you?
I
not tell
told him
about
Moulton was in
Shannon?
the car after I tried to free Moulton.
It's your testimony that you said that Moulton was in the car only after you told them Shannon was in the car?
No, I had already knew. I was a steps ahead of y'all already.
Okay, so I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Would you tell the jury, are you saying that you told the police?
I told the police that Shannon was in the car because I was mad because Garlington said Moulton was in the car.
Okay. And did you tell the police that Montauk was in the car before you told them Shannon was in the car?
How I supposed to know? 10 years ago. I don't remember.
You remember why you told them, you said.
Yes, but how I know what I said first?
Did you give them any details about what happened?
I think I told them what house we went to, yeah.
And did you tell them who it was that you were looking for at the house?
I don't remember if I did. You had to show me or something. I don't remember.
Okay. Do you remember telling detectives Gaither and Dennis that you graduated
I ain't
from
never,
high school?
I ain't never say no nothing like that, man.
Okay, I'm asking you if you do or not. Do you remember giving them your mother's number?
When? In court, probably, yes.
No, in August, and thank you for making me clarify, in the August 2015 interview with Detective Gaither and Dennis, that you told the jury about her.
I ain't getting my mama number.
Okay. Do you remember giving them her name?
Yeah, I probably gave my name.
Okay. Do you remember them reading you your rights?
Yes.
Do you remember waiving your rights?
Yes.
And at the time that you spoke to them, had anybody forced you or threatened you to go down and make a statement?
No, my whole plan was to just go free months on.
Did they ask you whether you could read and write English?
I don't know.
And did they tell you or ask you, what is the big rush? Why did you want us to come down and talk to you?
And what I say?
You gotta answer.
I don't know.
I'm gonna pause y'all for a minute. There's a juror that's feeling sick.
Okay. I mean, this, if it is the same juror who has already been in and out of hospital and is now feeling sick, so they have to break, they need to let this juror go. It's not the first time, second time, or even third time they had to pause the proceedings because of this juror.
Might be a couple of minutes. So let's pause.
And as Jessica says, what's the point of telling the jury over and over that they lie? And at the other hand, no, believe this one. This part you can believe, but not the rest. I mean, it's so stupid. Okay. Skip.
Know how long it's gonna be, so no, he doesn't need to.
Okay, just some courtroom chatter. Okay. Yeah, then we're good. Then I could go back to normal speed here. I didn't know that that the break was going to take some. So we will be done a bit before the panel show, which gives me time to grab something to eat. That's good. Come on, talk. Want to hear what QZ actually said about the lawyer thing.
Material witness warrant. Miss Love. We are currently in the midst of Mr. Zachary's testimony, but have not completed his testimony. And we've already heard, and his physical and medical condition seems to be fine. And I know that when one of the defense attorneys had mentioned the possibility of not being able to complete the testimony and that being problematic, we were contemplating whether that might happen because of his medical condition. But the state had requested a material witness warrant previously because there were concerns that Mr. Zachary wouldn't appear voluntarily. And I'm not quite sure what has suddenly assuaged the state's concerns in that regard, because if he doesn't end up coming back, then we're going to be in the same problematic boat we would have been in otherwise, just for a different reason. So I need some assurances that whatever the concerns were before have disappeared before I am going to release him from the material witness warrant. And there are, I mean, y'all can put him up in a hotel room where he's under the supervision of someone who is law enforcement.
So, Your Honor, the concern that we had was based on our interaction with one referenced family member
Mhm.
at the same time as Mr. Zachary.
All right.
And that family member has repeatedly and consistently made it clear that they had no intention of allowing us to have him testify.
Uh-huh.
And there is another family member, however, who seems to be slightly different. And I am as concerned as the court, and I want to make sure that we secure his testimony. So I am also aware that there are concerns, with his condition deteriorating and all of that at the jail and whatnot.
Yeah.
And there is concerns on our end with something happening while he's in a room with an investigator, not a medic or something like that. And they're not trained to, deal with that. But I am trying to combine.
Okay,
I have
then
just
put
sent-
up the witness and the family member whom you do not have concerns about, but who you were willing to put into Mr. Zachary into the care of, put them both up. And that way, it seems to all be taken care of.
And I will,
But,
What I'm reading into here is that Miss Love embellished the risk in order to put QZ in jail. That the risk imposed, it might just be a family member yelling at her saying, "He's really sick. You will kill him. I will not allow you to kill him on the stand." And then she represented to the court that, "Oh, he won't take the stand. We need to jail him." It's not out of the question. And but now they definitely have put QZ in a situation where he's basically scared for his life because of the prosecution. So now he might be a risk of not showing up because of what the prosecution did.
if we're just leaving it up to the family members to battle it out amongst themselves, whose position wins out, that doesn't seem like a very good plan. Okay.
Yes. So let me go try that.
talking about Mr. Zachary?
Yeah.
Oh. You tell me.
I thought it was kind of obvious.
Today was a hot mess, and the person ultimately
And I
responsible
know that
for that
you are advocating.
is Judge Whittaker. It's her courtroom. It's her responsibility to keep the courtroom in order. And she doesn't, because she keeps allowing the prosecution to get away with being asshats continuously.
That he'd be released home, but that doesn't seem like necessarily the best idea for even him, considering that if he's going to have family members on opposing sides of what should happen next, then that actually could be very stress-inducing for him.
His sister is here, and I'd just like to put her under oath. She wants to be put under oath and have her testify where he's gonna be.
It doesn't matter. I'm not going to let that happen. And I appreciate that everybody has good intentions, and if his sister needs to be the caregiver over the weekend, and I'm sorry that we had to stop early, but we couldn't help it. There was a sick juror. Then
Another issue, they may decide they want to have another lawyer because they're not happy with me after being here every day.
all right, well,
I mean,
you're Mr. Zachary's attorney, not his family's attorney. So it's up to Mr. Zachary.
well, it appears none of them are happy because it's taken so long. I'm not blaming anybody, and I've even been threatened with them taking out a warrant for kidnapping. I'm not worried about that against me. And so I'm a big boy, I can deal with it, but he's got to make a decision what he wants to do.
Okay.
Okay, that's the situation. So the family and QZ is not happy with his lawyer not being able to force the state to move along. I don't think anybody could have done anything different, because it's on the prosecution. And you hire an attorney to protect QZ's rights. That's what they hired him for, to make sure everything was within the rules. But he cannot help the prosecution being lying asshats. Okay. You can have expectations of your attorney, but you cannot make him do stuff he can't do. Okay, that's the situation. Yeah. Toria, he can't do much more. He really can't. It's a court. I mean, in the beginning, before he took the stand, this lawyer asked if he could make objections. And the judge told him, no, you can't. You can only be there if he asks to consult with you. So he wasn't allowed to object to anything. And when you have these restrictions, and with lying prosecution, it's not much he can do except protect his right, QZ's rights. And if the family has expectations above that, somebody needs to tell them the functions of a lawyer and the restrictions of a lawyer in this setting. I'm not happy with it. I assumed from prior witnesses, why aren't the lawyer making objections? Apparently, and I didn't know this, They're not allowed to interfere in these proceedings by objecting. I didn't know that. That changes things on how previous lawyers have functioned with previous witnesses. Completely. Cat Madison asks, could the lawyer have told him to say, may I consult with my lawyer after each question? No. I can say that without a doubt. He cannot instruct him to answer in a specific way. That would be in violation of his of the lawyer rules. So, okay, that puts everything here in a different light when lawyers for witnesses aren't allowed to object. Okay. And they are heavily restricted in that case.
All right. You're not by chance the attorney referenced in the warrant who told him that he could, you are not by chance the attorney referenced in the affidavit in support of the warrant who allegedly advised him that he didn't have to abide by the subpoena, or the subpoena was no longer in effect, are you? And you don't have to answer that. But I certainly hope not, because I don't know where anybody would have gotten an idea that a subpoena to show up for this trial was somehow not valid just because the judge changed, but.
I just, at 2 a.m. in the morning, Sunday morning, I found out about this. I think I've been in here one time.
All right, well, then that wasn't you.
It was an issue and I came in here to support him.
Yeah.
All
All right. Okay. Well, that's good to know that you didn't give totally incorrect legal advice.
I would respectfully submit if we're gonna, the DA is gonna have a conversation, and you and I are gonna have, we need to have him out here because he's really upset about what's happening, where he wants to tell the court. Because I think that's only fair.
Okay, that's fine.
Thank you.
We can get him out.
I'm checking with our, I'm checking with the people that can control that part on our end in terms of sitting at the location. I'm trying to affect what the court is at.
Okay, well, I'm sure y'all will be able to do that. Y'all been able to do things like that for years.
Okay, folks. I will say this as clearly as I can tell, if my understanding of the situation is correct. People have given QZ's family advice on how to act. Folks, this is as clearly as I can say it. If you are not a practicing attorney hired by the family, Do not fucking give legal advice. Do not fucking give legal advice. Because what these people I understand the frustration. Believe me, I'm frustrated too. But do not give legal advice that the family acts on if you're not a practicing attorney hired by them. Unintentional. You might have caused QZ to be without a lawyer for the rest of his testimony, which is a horrible decision, especially if it's made on bad advice. But it might be well intentional, but the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Do not give legal advice if you're not a lawyer. Do not give legal advice if you're not hired by that person. Don't go into Reddit and read the legal advice channel there. It's horrible. It's bad. It's funny. But do not give legal advice unless you are a practicing attorney in that county and are hired by the family or by QZ. Wow.
So, Mr. Zachary, I am sorry that we were not able to finish with your testimony today. You saw the juror run out and she had some sort of a sickness issue and I think she threw up. And having just come from the hospital, you probably understand. But she's too sick to continue today. And so we're going to have to pick up on Monday. And so what I think would be the best thing to do in the meantime is over the weekend to just put you up in a hotel room somewhere. You can, I know it's not awesome, but because there are certain members of your family who seem very determined to have you not finish testifying.
Grown man, huh?
Yeah. And I don't want there to be
If I ain't want to testify, I would sit in jail. Jail ain't letting me. I did 19 years.
So you'd rather go to jail than a hotel room?
I'm ready to go home.
I know you are. I know. But we're going to have you in a hotel room. You are welcome to have your mom or your sister there over the weekend. But I just think that it's better if it's a more controlled environment where your father is not going to be causing stress for any of y'all. Okay.
My father don't cause stress with me. He cause stress with them. He supposed to do that.
I know. Well, I don't know that, but if he causes stress with them, then that might cause stress to you. So.
They took my phones. Can you tell them to get my phones back?
Which phones?
My
Just
phones?
for you to come testify?
I don't know. They took them.
Okay. Yeah.
No, the officer back there took them.
I think when they took him in custody.
They took both my cell phones.
I don't really.
They ain't turn them into property.
I don't really have a problem with him having his phones. The issue is him showing up for court. So it's fine with me if he gets his phones back.
That is basically releasing him from that. If in a hotel room with his phones, she's basically releasing him from the prosecution, from the order. Not entirely. She's changing it to a new one. Yeah.
So is there anything else you wanted to let the court know?
Yeah. I don't want that lawyer no more.
You don't want that lawyer
Why you working
anymore.
for them?
All right. Well, let me say this. When you come back on Monday, it may be that you
I don't need
want
no
a lawyer. You don't feel like you need any kind of lawyer whatsoever. So what if things change on Monday?
I don't need no lawyer.
Oh, that's a horrible decision,
All right.
QZ. Horrible decision,
Well, Mr.
QZ.
Scheib, thank you for your service.
Yes, ma'am. But
Oh, that lawyer is out of there like a bullet. QZ, that was a horrible decision. You always need an attorney. He only has use immunity. And yeah, he's not going back to jail. He will be in a hotel room over the weekend. And he will be without a lawyer on Monday. Oh, Christ. Oh, Christ.
Anything else? Hang on. I'm asking actually Mr. Zachary right now. Mr. Zachary, is there anything else that you need to?
I can go now?
No, because what's going to happen is that somebody probably from the DA's office is going to escort you to whichever hotel this is they end up putting.
Can it be hard walking out the door?
Can it be what?
Oh, right there walking out the door.
I don't know whether it's going to be
Hold on.
that particular investigator.
He wants the hot one by the door. Here's the thing, folks. I know exactly who he's talking about. I know exactly who he's talking about. Because there is a woman with a gun that is insanely hot. And based on my experience, she is lethal as well. Lethal. So I know exactly who he's talking about. And I also know you don't fuck around with that woman at all. She is ready to draw gun in a split second. As you know, I was in that courtroom. I saw her. And yeah, insanely hot, insanely dangerous. You do not want to fuck around with that one.
Or not.
She know what,
It might be, it might not be. That one's not going to be up to me. All right, what else?
that's it.
Okay, so they will get you in not too much longer.
Okay.
All right. And we'll see you Monday.
Your Honor, at the risk of just generally being annoying, I would just ask that the witness and also both sides be instructed not to discuss the testimony
Okay,
over the weekend. I
Yeah.
think that's very important.
so don't discuss what you've talked about before or what you might talk about later with anybody over the weekend. Just keep it in your own head, okay? All right. Okay.
Hmm.
So I know this,
For the panel show, yes, my Bucky's onesie has arrived. I haven't opened the package yet, so I don't know if it fits. It should fit, but you never know.
Dave still needs to get the modification of the order together. Are there other things we can deal with right now? Modified. Make sure that whatever modified order you put together also includes release of his property back to him. All right, how about other issues? So would the plan be finish with Mr. Zachary on Monday, and then if he doesn't go through the whole day, pick back up with Mr. Sprinkle? Okay, and that certainly would take us through the full day, because okay. So
the person there is a court clerk, and yeah. Oh wait, I didn't realize. Court reporter, the typey things. She changed her hairdo. Aw, I liked her gray locks.
all right, anything else, y'all, this afternoon?
Oh, it's a different person altogether. All right. Okay, didn't know that.
Allow us
All right, so it's a completely different, not the same. That's not her. Okay, my apologies.
to handle the matter that we're handling, and to deal with any other.
They can't hear you.
So unusual. Could the court allow us to handle any other matters on Monday? I'm just trying to get,
I know y'all need to get that done, but y'all have at least 3, and maybe 4. I'm not sure if Ms. Knight's an attorney or not. Attorneys at council table right now. So you ought to be able to delegate something to somebody else.
Yeah, but here's the thing. What I believe is that Miss Love is screwing up so bad, the others don't want to lie for her. And I have a new theory thanks to one of my viewers. Because if you saw the video made about Fannie Willis and Miss Love's motion about intrinsic acts, I think that is written by an AI. Because it's so badly written, it doesn't make sense. Case law is sketchy at best. So I might do a video on it this weekend, showing why I believe Miss Love is using AI legal helper to write her motions. Because she doesn't get any help from the rest of the prosecutors, because they don't want their name with hers.
So this was what, your number 60 that was today's? I can't even remember what that one was about. So
Oh, they have a new motion.
give me a second.
Motion in limine number 60. Okay, motion in limine number 60. Hold on here. Here it is. Comes now Mr. Jeffrey Williams, by and through undersigned counsel, and hereby files this motion in limine number 60 to exclude any mention that a house located on Ruby H. Harper Boulevard was a supposed quote-unquote retaliation shooting on or about January 13th, 2015 at approximately 1 a.m. in the above reference case. In support of this motion, Mr. Williams shows as follows. Mr. Williams is innocent of all charges in the above reference indictment. According to the attached police report, Law enforcement officers arrived at 3424 Ruby H. Harbor Boulevard, SE, and 2 vehicles had windows broken, defects caused by bullets, and there was a bullet strike to the front door of the home. In front of the house, law enforcement noticed approximately 24 shell casings. There was no evidence Mr. Williams lived at this house. There is no competent evidence as to who the supposed shooters of this house vehicle were, and there is no competent evidence of the motivation for this house vehicles being shot. On Thursday evening, September 19th, in the 2024, in the evening hours, the Fulton County District Attorney's Office subpoenaed Mr. Bush to come to court at 9 a.m. on Friday, September 20th. Mr. Williams had no connection to the above-named house. Mr. Bush is not Mr. Williams' stepfather, and Mr. Bush does not live at the house, although he frequents the house often, according to the attached police report. Without more of a nexus to prove that somehow this is retaliation for false conduct of Jeffrey Williams, this is inadmissible evidence that has no scant probative value, and the prejudicial effect is great because this is a trial by the prosecution's theory without competent evidence. There is no evidence who shot this house, whether it was a drive-by shooting or competent or passerby walker by cyclist, some person who had no disagreement with Mr. Williams or Mr. Bush, as another person also lived at this home. Wherefore, Mr. Williams respectfully requests a hearing on this motion and a conclusion of same, as this honorable court to grant the above requested relief and exclude the testimony of Mr. Bush if said testimony surrounds the above referenced incident, especially since Mr. Bush was not even at this home at the relevant date or time of the shooting. And here is the footnote. A witness subpoena has to give at least 24 hours, and hence this instruction, if accurate, did not follow the law. Regardless, based upon the information and belief, Mr. Bush will be present in court as requested by the District Attorney's Office. So, they tried again to sneak in new stuff. The night before they presented to the defense, they were calling somebody new the day after. Yeah. Nothing new here. Prosecution being completely unethical. Let's listen to the final things here.
And had a chance to read it yet.
That's fine.
So, Miss Love must want us to come in early on Monday instead of being back, if it's staying here late on Friday. All righty. I would not actually, but that's not even when we have to argue on Monday. So, all right, we'll just do our regular old 8:45. So I will adjourn us for the day, but Miss Love, I'll stick around to sign that order, obviously.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Yep.
All right. It seems like we are done for today, at least. And there isn't real time to go back and listen to Mr. The Hobbit's, Mr. Sprinkle's testimony, ADA Sprinkle. Of what I've heard, it's a bit different from when the hearing was pre-trial. And from the limited things I've heard from Mr. Sprinkle, I'm disappointed. I had a good impression of Mr. Sprinkle after his pre-trial hearing. Not so anymore. But somehow we will get through it. Somehow. I'm a few days behind in this trial. I believe, though, that we are currently at sidebar counter 255. But I will go through and see if nothing else has happened. But okay, in 15 minutes, panel show, the big one. And I discovered I forgot to invite Rachel Kaufman. I will send an invite to her as well. But for you who don't know, the panel show will be stacked with a lot of people, a lot of good people. So, but what's the mistrial counter at? 39, I think. 39 motions of mistrial. All right, me and Mr. Jingles says temporarily, thank you for allowing me to do this. Thank you for allowing me to try to translate this trial with legal knowledge and snark. And Mr. Jingles, yes, blue-eyed hill Billy, I have my Bucky's onesie. I haven't unpacked it yet. I will do that on the panel show. And if it fits, I'm going to be in it. All right. Again, see you in a bit. I will redirect you to the panel show. It's also pinned in the top of the chat. So I will see you all in about 15 minutes. All right. See ya. Bye-bye.
Courtroom drama, heart frozen in the dark. Evil prosecutor, love, justice, she block. Defense drops a gem, a fury unlock. Wrath like a storm, thunder at the clock. She can't handle wrong, shoots a heavy stone. Twisting testimonies, words cut to the bone. Defense brings the heat, cracks the evil tone. She sees in silence, conscience overthrown. Word of doom, vengeance in her gaze. Vindictive plot against virtuous face. Defense shines light, she drowns in malaise. Evil prosecutor, love trapped in her maze.